Yeah, good morning. Yeah, pray for Red Panda. I'm actually surprised that this isn't the first time this has happened to her. I saw her perform at a Clemson and South Carolina basketball game a few years ago.
The teenagers themselves were unrecognizable because their limbs were arranged into something pentagonal, a symbol of violent evil.
What is this emoji by Traveling Fool's name? He's got a crown on that says number 1. I've never seen that before. What does that mean? Do y'all see that? Or is that just on my end that I'm seeing that? You can't see it? I've never seen anything like that before. It's purple. It's big, it's purple, and it's a crown, and it says number 1 next to it. Let me see if I can see it on YouTube or if it's just on my studio. So when I pull up the show on my phone, like just a regular YouTube channel, I can't see it. But I can see it on my YouTube studio. I don't have no idea what it means. Should be a 1, 2, and 3 top commenter crown. Is that true? Okay. It can't be seen by the streamer unless you make it visible to everyone. Well, how do I make it visible to everyone? Like this? Oh, guess who's number 2? I just clicked on it. Here, let me show you. First of all, let me go back. I can do this. I can show you guys the live screen. I can show you what I'm looking at. See it? See that crown right there? Now, if I go up here, where it says top fans, which I've never seen that before either. Is this a new feature? I click top fans and look, Traveling Fools. Oh, and he's way ahead in first place, 75 XP, whatever the hell that means. And number 2 is Matt Dummett with 25 XP. So there you go. That's interesting. But when Matt Dummett comments, I don't see anything next to his. I haven't figured out how to hide it. Well, I haven't figured out how to show it. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't say anything. I'll figure it out later. Oh, the heart thing? Yeah, he told me how to get rid of it too. I never did it. It's a gimmick like Tennessee. Well, aside from the number 1 commenter, let's see who we got in here. Bread Pitts here. Andrea. Good morning, Andrea. I wonder if she goes by Andrea or Andrea. Don't know. Goose Sports, Traveling Fools, Droid, Jay Shipes, Yoda T. I already said Matt Doomit. Dylan Mullins, Hoghead. What's up, Hoghead? Now look at this. Now that thing just lied to me. Look at here. Now it's saying that Dylan Mullins is the number 2 interactor. See that? Right there? How come when I go up here and click up here, it says that Matt Doomit is? Now it's changed. What is going on here? Now it says Traveling Fools number 1, Uncle Lou 2, and who is that? I don't even know who that is. Is that Hoghead? This is weird. Something tells me, did you see that, Lou? You are currently you're in second place behind Fools and interacting on the Peete podcast channel, I think is what that means. I don't know. Trying to be like TikTok? Yeah. I don't know if a long A. So Andrea. Okay. I think that's what that means. I don't know. I don't even know what long A means anymore. I graduated high school a long time ago. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Lou, did you hear or did you see what happened in Vegas last night? I might be able to find pictures of it. There was apparently, let me turn this fucking music off. There was apparently a really bad windstorm in Las Vegas last night. A wind gust up to over 70 miles an hour, which is hurricane force. It was a big dust storm too. That actually happens out there pretty frequently. There was a smaller event like that when we were out there. Well, they were going way back. The first time my wife and I went to Vegas in 2010. Yeah, October of 2010. They had a bad windstorm and it actually had delayed our flight like 6 hours. Unfortunately, they boarded us on the plane and then just sat us on the runway for 6 hours. You know, which I'd rather sit inside the airport at a bar or something, or in a chair where I can get up and walk around, than on a runway. But anyway, there was this bad storm last night in Vegas, and it broke like 50 power poles. It's a pretty wild picture. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Some of these have nothing to do with it. Yeah, some of these. Anyway, just take my word for it. Some of these pictures, when I try to pull that up, it doesn't give me what I'm looking for. Some of it does, but not the picture I'm talking about. Hey, look who it is! It's Volusia. Good to see you, buddy. Anyway, how you guys doing this morning? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I just now realized I'm an idiot. I just now realized that Friday is July the 4th. So there will be no show Friday. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I know I'm doing something. I just have to let my wife tell me what it is. Because that's how it is around here. When it comes to holidays, I just go, what are we doing? And she tells me what we're doing, and then we do it. She never asks me what I want to do. I just say to her, what are we doing? And she says, we're doing this, and I say, okay. That's pretty much how that works. So, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
How you doing, Nate?
Doing great. Also, good news. I actually went on a morning walk for once. This morning.
Oh, so you're walking around now?
Well, yeah. That's what I was supposed to do because the therapist from that, for the back thing,
Mm-hmm.
said I have to move around more than just sit at home and do nothing. So
Yeah.
So I did that, like at 4 a.m. in the morning.
You were walking at 4 a.m.?
Yeah,
Why?
why not? I mean,
Why weren't you
no
sleeping? That's what I'm asking. Most people are asleep at 4 a.m.
yeah, I didn't make any noise. I just walked up by myself around the neighborhood and stuff. So
That's kind of suspect, Nate.
why?
I don't know. If I was driving around and I saw Nate just meandering around in the streets aimlessly at 4 a.m., I would be like, what's going on here? What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
4 a.m. is rough.
Yeah.
What are you doing up at 4, man? Also, how you got back issues? Aren't you like 24 or something?
Well, I did have back issues, but that's fixed now.
Yeah, he had back surgery.
Oh shit. Okay, I obviously missed out on that. All right.
Yeah, I forget. I talked to your mom about it whenever you had the surgery. I forget what she said. What was the problem again? You didn't injure your back. You had something.
No,
Yeah.
It's osteoid something. That's all. Osteoma. Something.
Yeah, he had some kind of rare condition. I forget what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it starts with osteo. It's obviously bone related, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it has something to do. It was your spine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's between L1 L2, which is
Right.
mid lower back.
Yeah, back surgery, no bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
Woo-ha.
Anyway, how you doing, Volusia?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's fucking like 100 degrees and humid every day over here, but that's summer here, man.
Well,
Other than that,
It's not much different here. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's probably a little bit hotter there. Well, you know what? You compare like where you grew up compared to where you are now. What's the difference?
It's hotter.
It's hotter in China.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 Well, when you step out here in South Carolina, it feels like Satan is farting in your face.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, man. Out here is the same thing, man. It's really bad. But, shit. We got to live with it. I think what makes it worse is just being in the concrete jungle of the skyscraper city.
Yeah. Right.
You sing a lot of Axl Rose there?
Actually,
I'm sorry.
Axel rolls.
You know who's here right now though is Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, where?
China, really? For what?
She's in Shanghai, yeah.
Oh.
I used to be obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Oh, man, she is smoking hot.
Like,
There's no doubt about that.
especially like 15 or 20 years ago. She was like a 10. I don't know how she looks now, but
She's still pretty smoking hot. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, come on.
as a matter of fact, I don't know if you ever played this game with your wife or your girlfriend, a hall pass thing. Like you could sleep with one person without getting in trouble. She was my hall pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, man.
That was a long time ago, though.
Hall pass was this. You gotta, if you're gonna do a hall pass, it's got to be something obtainable. It's got to be like, oh, your friend Susie or something.
Oh yeah, well nobody. No.
No, you don't want to play hall pass that way.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's a bad idea.
That's the point. Hey Pete, I love you, bro. You ain't fucking Scarlet, bro.
I know, but that's kind of
upside down pineapples in the yard.
yeah. That's kind of the point. Is like it's never going to happen, so you can say it, and they don't get mad at you for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
You
You can't be like, oh yeah, what is your hall pass? Oh, your sister.
Hey, your next door, Deborah, man, she's kind of. I saw her in her yoga pants the other day. Woo. God, no.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna ask a stupid question because I'm a stupid individual sometimes. NIL, okay? I've been trying to just wrap my mind around this crap. Okay, I think we can all agree that it's ruining college football. Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
Why is it then? The NCAA doesn't step in because I know of state laws and all that. They're afraid of that. But why is it? And I think there's been talk of this. Why is it the Fed doesn't step in? Make a committee like Nick Saban be the head of the committee. Because if anybody knows anything about NIL, I think it would be Saban. And come up with some conclusion that makes sense for NIL in college football and for all sports in college, for that matter.
Yeah, but he can say it, but like, what gives him the authority to implement
Well,
it?
if it becomes a federal law, Volusia, if it surpasses state law and becomes a federal law, then it's a federal law that all colleges have to, abide by.
Right, but Saban doesn't make federal law. I mean, they got Senator Tuberville is up there, fucking idiot, but he can tell.
No, I'm saying, you make policy, you make a bill, and it's passed to do just this. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hasn't this already been settled in Congress?
I think it's tried and nothing's happened yet, but I mean, I think if something doesn't happen very soon, it's going to get out of damn control. It already is out of control.
It's already way the fuck out of control, Scott. I mean, you know this.
Well, the only way to fix it is to make players employees. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's going to happen either.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated issue. I mean, I don't see it being fixed the way that people want it fixed anytime soon.
No, it's not. And Lou's saying, well, the House came up with a settlement, but you know what? They can still go back and figure this shit out. I mean, it's not figured out by any means. Is it figured out? So I'm just saying, it's going to hurt college. It's going to hurt all college athletics. Yeah. It already is. So, I mean, it's okay. The richest team is going to have the best players. That's going to be it.
Yep.
Well, there is
Nick Saban said it best last year on game day. If you don't pay the guys the money, you're basically shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
and see, I think that's why I think Saban even said this, that he retired because he didn't want to deal with NIL.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
well,
I mean, it's tough enough to go to these, go into these homes, talk to parents of some college athlete, convince them to come and play for you. Then you got to say, well, what's in it for me? How much money I'm going to make?
Well, these schools are going to learn real quickly. They're taking a huge risk. If you go offer a guy out of high school $8 million to play and he turns out to be a bust,
that's right.
Nico.
That's exactly right. It's just like Major League anything. It's like the NFL. It's like MLB, all that you may pay somebody a high figure and then they turn out to be shit.
Yep.
Yeah, there is a $21 million cap.
The interesting thing about the cap, or one I have to say, there's a lot of talking points here that we can discuss, but one of them for me is if you talk about relatively well-to-do schools that don't have football, like a St. John's or a lot of these Big East schools, they can just spend all that money on basketball, which is really going to give them an advantage if the $21 million cap includes all sports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lou keeps going on. It's about, it's ended. No, I don't think it's ended. I think there needs to be more discussion about this. I think all coaches, especially in college football, all the major coaches would like to have something settled with this matter. So it does make sense for all teams. I mean, there's in other words, there's no equal playing field now. Maybe there hasn't been. We know that the top teams are normally Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, possibly Notre Dame, just to name a few. But it has changed some. I mean, in some recent, excursions, it has. But I don't know. I just think it's ruining college football for me.
Because you think about like what I hear today at least is, well, we spent this much in recruiting and we spent this, we spent that. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it was, we're just happy that we got these players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like we spent this much, and I'm like, who cares? Like, why?
The transfer portal can miss. I mean, the transfer portal's a bit of a mess too. Look, I'm a layman. Okay, Uncle Lou's a smart statistician for an analyst for sports. Okay, I am a layman in this. All right, I'm not saying I'm smart about this, but I do look at it in my own eyes and go, "There's something fucking wrong here." I mean, just it's way wrong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been saying that for years. I mean, it's been fucked up since they started this.
Yeah. Well, speaking of legislation, Scott, I know you're a Trump guy. What do you think about this big, beautiful bill? And also, on top of that, what do you think about the spat going on between Elon and Trump again? Spark back up.
Oh man, you know what Elon's turning himself into? Everyone's going to hate Elon before it's all over. The left don't like him.
What did he do?
He's turning against conservatives.
Why is he turning against conservatives? All he said was that he thinks it's ridiculous to add $5 trillion to the debt. I happen to agree with him.
Okay, I'm going to give you my idea and what Trump's idea I think is about a $5 trillion debt. Trump has already added $3 trillion in new business coming to our country, all right? Now, I know that's not going to happen within a year, but it will happen eventually in the next several years, okay? What he wants to do is by lowering, the taxes, blow up the economy so the economy is just thriving, and that $1 trillion debt, or how much it may be, will be reduced in that regard. Okay, what we make will be reduced. The amount was about 3.1 trillion. I think he was adding to the debt. Okay, but who knows? I mean, what pisses me off, the only thing that pisses me off about the big, beautiful bill is they were going to make no taxes on Social Security. Well, that didn't happen. There's going to be some tax still on Social Security. And for, people my age and, anybody in, older generation, that hurts us. That hurts us bad. So
so what happened to that? Why is it
reduced? Reduced dramatically, but let's see what happens here.
Didn't Trump run on no tax on Social Security? So why didn't he? Why is that not in the bill?
It's in the bill. It has been reduced. It's been reduced dramatically, but it's not all taxes are going to be passed on that. But they're back and forth. Yes, Rand Paul, all about the $1 trillion debt. They're all about the debt ceiling. It's all a damn conundrum. But
I don't know. It seems to me like Elon's stance on it is more conservative than Trump's is.
Well, Elon wants to say, "Hey, you got to stop the deficit." Yeah, we do need to stop the deficit, but but of all people that's trying to stop the deficit, it certainly wasn't Biden who added 4.1 trillion, I think, in his term.
Yeah. Well, look, I saw a chart the other day of the last 6 presidencies or something like that. Republican, Democrat, back and forth. Guess what? It goes up on every one of them. And that's kind of what Elon's point was. It was like, we need to form a third party. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. Libertarians tried to form a third party. The problem is it's so poorly run. I mean, I agree with a lot of libertarian type values, but that party is a mess.
Yeah, it is.
And
the Tea Party was really the closest to a third party that we had.
But his point is, there's really not and I've been saying this for years, there's really not a whole lot of difference, especially when it comes to spending, between Republicans and Democrats.
No, I mean, look, there's still money in the new Green Deal. There's still going to be money subsidized for states, I guess, that started projects and they want to finish their projects. Where I think that money should have been, hey, we cut that shit off now, right now, all of it.
And of course, as soon as Elon's
right there is the only difference. What they want to spend the money on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly. Well, of course, every member of Congress, every member of the Senate want to do what's best for me and what's best for my state, what makes me look good. By the way, just speaking of politics,
their job, by the way.
It is. You're right. But it's their job to legislate and actually govern. It's not all about what's in it for me. That's the thing. I mean, you become a senator or a congressman, next thing you know, you're a millionaire. You're a multimillionaire.
But then, of course, it's like, so Elon says he doesn't like the bill, and instead of Trump defending the bill, he goes out, with the personal attacks with Elon. again, which is what he does.
Elon's personally attacking him. So, I mean, it is back and forth. I mean, is Elon going to be happy if Trump pulls all of his damn contracts on SpaceX? I don't think so.
The 8% of SpaceX is government contracts. So 92% is private.
Well, it still hurts. I mean, if he pulls even 8%, it doesn't matter. I mean, look, Elon's going to be Elon. I don't understand why he just, went off like a crazy man. I have no idea. But, he is who he is.
Yeah, because his Tesla stock was going down.
Tanking. It was tanking. That's right, Vic. It was. And all of a sudden, when Trump said this, during the time of his election, that he's going to back off on these EV, mandates for car manufacturers, which that hurt. Yeah, that hurt Tesla, I would think.
Well, but Elon said he didn't care.
Make enough F-150s.
Elon said from the beginning he doesn't care about an EV mandate.
Yeah. Well, when Ford can't make enough F-150s because they had to stop the manufacturing of those to make EVs, that hurt. Well, that hurts a gasoline company, but Tesla's not a gasoline company. They've always been an electric company. So there hasn't been an EV mandate, and he's been successful without a mandate. He doesn't need a mandate.
Well, you're right. But at the same time, you want an explanation why shit's so expensive because of mandates like that. Like, you really want to get down to the brass tacks of why a car is $40,000 compared to it used to being $1,500? Because the government mandates, they put a lot. This is kind
of my point. So Trump they're going back and forth. Trump goes, "Oh, Elon's just mad because I'm going to get rid of the EV mandate," and then so Elon fires back and says, "Show me one time where I've ever said that I care about the EV mandate. I've said the opposite." So he's lying.
Yeah.
So
he knew Trump was going to stop the EV.
Yeah, he said it right from the get-go. I mean, so but I've heard that Elon was pissed about that. Now, if that's not the case, then
that's what Trump says.
Here's the thing: why would Elon be pissed about it? Because Elon will be the first to tell you Tesla's not a car company. Tesla's a data company.
And then they're like, then they asked Trump. Then they asked Trump about
the car company.
Then they asked Trump, should we deport Elon? He's like, well, we have to look into that. It's like, come on, man. He was on your staff 2 weeks ago.
Listen, you know how Trump is. Trump says stuff. I mean, he's off the damn cuff. He'll say shit all the time.
He says crazy shit.
Don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And while we're bashing Trump here, I voted for Trump. I like a lot of things he does, but look, I call a spade a spade. This alligator Alcatraz thing is ridiculously stupid. Did you see the interview with him?
But it is fucking funny.
Did you see the interview with him yesterday?
I mean, I think it's terrific. I mean, they built that damn jail. They've been that prison in 10 days, 10 freaking days.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. LA's got how many hundreds of thousands of homeless people are in LA? They can't build housing for them, but they can build how many? What was it? How many beds are in that Alcatraz Island place?
I don't know, but so, if you start talking about socialized housing,
is federally owned. It's state regulations is the problem in California.
Yeah, well.
I hate to leave on a note, but I got a Zoom meeting I got to do at 11:30.
All right, so see you later, Scott.
Have a good Wednesday, everyone.
You too. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Trump yesterday where he was talking about how to get away from an alligator. It was so fucking ridiculous. He's like, you can't run in a straight line. You got to wiggle back and forth and hope they don't catch you. It's like, what the fuck am I listening to?
I mean, that's actually factually true.
I know,
up in Florida, they tell you to run in a zigzag away from an alligator.
But they're sending people to an alligator farm.
I mean, factually, he's correct, but I'm sure it's hilarious coming out of his fucking mouth.
Yeah, what's the alligator Alcatraz?
You don't know what the alligator Alcatraz is?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know
what it is. You know what Alcatraz? You've been to Alcatraz.
Yeah.
So it's it's a prison basically out in the middle on an island, and it's virtually impossible to escape. Although a couple people did do it. So this is the same thing, except it's like in the Everglades in Florida. It's like a little island in the Everglades, and the only way to get out of there is swim through alligator-infested swamp.
Oh.
Yeah, if you get out.
I mean, not the worst idea ever for a place for a prison. I mean, there's all their prisons in fucking Siberia.
It's insane.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's just a clown thing that we can sit here and talk about to distract us from actual issues that are happening. It's just a fucking joke.
Well,
and he's not going to do it, obviously. So what the fuck are we even talking about?
He's not going to do it. Yeah, they are.
It is fucking funny though.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Yeah, the one thing I'll give Trump, the dumbass motherfucker, is that he is funny. He does make me laugh.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's also dumb. So.
That's Trump.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I'll never get old.
Oh shit! Josh George brings up Palantir. Did you see the interview the other day with Peter Thiel when the reporter asked him, you know, do you want the human race to endure? You know who Peter Thiel is, right? The billionaire guy that runs Palantir, the data. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I don't know who he is, but just knowing that he's a billionaire is all I need to know.
Asshole. Anyway, so he's a billionaire that's running all these tech companies. Anyways, and they ask him, he says, "Do you want the human race to endure?" And he spends like 30 seconds going, "Well, because that's a pretty fucking long hesitation for a pretty simple question."
Yeah, the answer should be yes.
And he's like, "Well, there's a lot of different." It's like, Jesus.
What's the profit margin on that?
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude.
Yeah. If we don't endure, can I get richer? Yeah.
Does he want humans to endure, or?
It's wild. The people that we're entrusting our fucking humanity with is just.
But here's a great thought, and I've been on this soapbox for a long time. Stop entrusting these fucks.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. No doubt.
I mean, I've been on that soapbox for a long fucking time.
Well, what do you mean? Like, just don't vote?
Once again, there's much less influence, especially from them on the state level.
Well, you can still vote. You can vote for somebody and not trust them. I mean, I did that with Trump.
I did that with Trump too. I don't trust the fucker as far as I can throw him.
Well, that's the problem is you don't. It's like
so
you vote for this piece of shit or that piece of shit. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's a large percentage of the voter base that was like, they didn't like either one candidate. I mean, you get the hardcore Trumpers in your face, you get the hardcore Democrats in your face, but I think the majority of the people are somewhere in the middle. But
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I would tend to agree with that.
To vote for RFK Jr. before he dropped.
Can we just say South Park predicted all of this years and years and years ago with the giant douche versus turd sandwich?
Yeah.
Even before South Park, I got to give kudos to The Simpsons.
Yeah, I was going to say
Simpsons did it.
Are really the. What did they say? What did they say in The Sopranos? You know, Quasimodo predicted all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony had to say Bobby Bacala.
Yeah, Bobby Bacala. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. You fucking. Okay, go ahead.
Stop leaning on my truck before you flip it over, you fat fuck.
Hey, Jersey's a small state. Ginny Sacks comes in, she might tip it over.
Can we also agree that the most fucked up, dumb accent is a New Jersey accent?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all agree to that.
Now, all right, here, I'll make a concession with you. 1A and 1B. Beyond just Jersey, is that annoying-ass Boston accent?
Oh, what about Minnesota?
That sounds like at all.
What about Minnesota?
I mean, they're basically Canadian. That's
I know.
What that is.
I know.
Minus, dude.
Yeah, that's the
That's the fucking Boston accent. You hit it. We hit the fucking ball wicked hard. It's fucking hot out here. Yeah, come on, bro. You got to do better than that.
That tells you how talented Bill Burr is that I can listen to him with that accent. That he's overcome it.
So when like Minnesota, when I hear somebody from Minnesota with that thick Minnesotan accent, I can't even, like it. Everything to me sounds like a joke to them. They could say like the most horrible, evil, like dark shit, and to me it sounds funny. You know?
Up here in the pool start. Oh my God, we're out here in Fargo.
That's pretty good.
That's a great show, by the way. Fargo.
Yeah, dude.
Yes. Is that with Billy Bob Thornton?
Oh yeah, He's in. He's in the first.
season?
He's in the first season of Fargo.
Oh, yeah, there's a show now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Billy Bob Thornton, my wife bought me on Blu-ray the first season of Landman. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, you can watch it on. Why do you got to get it on Blu-ray?
I didn't. My wife got it for me for Father's Day.
It streams. You can stream it.
Is that still a thing? Is Blu-ray still a thing?
Have it on.
Yes, Slim Shady's the last person that still watches DVDs.
Oh no, Kevin's got me beat by a long shot.
That's almost as bad as remember when Edward pulled out his porn stash from underneath his bed? It was all VHS tapes in 2023.
It did.
Jeez.
Lunch money show.
Yeah, he got this.
Probably worn out.
He got the show shut down.
And that's what got banned from. Yeah.
What, for the 1,000th time in a row?
Yeah, we were I think we even told him don't show anything. Just we wanted him to read some of the titles of the VHS tapes that had been under his bed for 30 years. And so he pulls it out and he's like, this one is like, it was some crazy like midget porn shit. And he turned around the box and put it on camera. And of course it was like, some naked bitch on there.
Yeah, there was nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he said, if no one's going to porn bomb me tonight, I'll porn bomb myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez.
That's commitment. You got to go get a tape and put it in and play
it and rewind it.
Yeah, rewind it.
Oh, man, I didn't get off that time. I got to rewind it 10 seconds. Can you imagine? Keep rewinding it 10 seconds.
Yeah.
By the way, I had to download a VPN last night.
Why?
Hey,
and Pornhub.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. They banned Pornhub in Georgia, too?
Yeah,
Did they really?
Yeah, there's like 8 states.
What's wrong with y'all, man? What are y'all doing?
It's banned in It's been banned in South Carolina for a while.
Yeah, well, you know how I know it's banned in Texas is because when I flip on my VPN and I use the Dallas one, it doesn't let me get on, so I just flip over to the LA one.
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but there's other sites. I mean, I don't know what banning Pornhub's going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't there like how? I don't even know how many there are. Probably hundreds.
You think there's lobbyists for the VPN companies that are trying to push this shit?
It would be a good time to buy VPN stock. Whoever's doing that, whoever makes those.
Yeah.
Because we were when we were talking about it, I think Utah just outright banned access to porn sites, period, from any IP address in the state.
That's not surprising at all.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, all right, 2 seconds, everyone just downloads a VPN, and now what?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I've said it before. You can't legislate morality.
No.
But that doesn't stop those fucking idiots from trying.
Yeah, Texas is
fucking idiots on both sides trying to legislate morality.
You see Texas?
No, I didn't say shit about what side. I'm just telling you.
Texas just banned all THC products too. So there's been this loophole nationally for the past few years where hemp varieties of THC are legal because of the Hemp Act. So they have something called THCA, which is really the same thing as regular. You can't tell the difference if you've ever smoked both, which I have. But so Texas is the first state to ban all THC products.
So what does that do? Just makes you feel better? All right.
I mean, what it does is it empowers the cartel, which happens to be right there by Texas, to sell weed illegally, or to smuggle in weed illegally. So that look, people are going to smoke weed whether it's legal or not.
Might as well.
I can fucking attest to that.
Yeah.
They're gonna smoke and choke it.
There's not a single person.
I can attest to it too. I deal with motherfuckers every day caught doing it.
That's kind of my point. Is like there's not a single person in Texas who smokes weed every day who's like, they banned THC products. I guess I have to quit.
By the way,
you got me, Ted.
being quote unquote caught smoking weed shouldn't be a thing. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Well. Also, let's put that dumb baby to bed. There's literally nobody in jail for smoking weed. Like that's not a thing.
They let them all go?
Yeah. Do you want to let
them all go? You sure about that? That's a fucking bold statement.
There's nobody in jail for smoking weed.
There's people in jail for possessing weed, and in order to smoke it, you have to possess it.
Oh, Oh yeah, yes. But even even in Tennessee, you have to hit a certain threshold before you're even going to get arrested.
Yeah, I think every state's different. I think like here it's an ounce or something like that.
Yeah, I think in Tennessee it's an ounce or two.
Changed the law. They must have changed that law since I've been going.
I have. Well, it's actually a friend of a friend. But anyway, there's a guy, my buddy's cousin. He's like an Uber driver around here, and he was dropping somebody off at the airport, and a passenger. And I don't know, he committed some kind of traffic violation, and he got pulled over by the airport police on airport property, and they searched his car, and they found like the legal type weed that you go to and buy at the store here. It wasn't like street weed, and they still ticketed him. Now, they didn't arrest him, but they did ticket him a few $100s, and I think his license gets suspended too, even though it's legal here, which I don't understand how they can do that. And he told them that, and they were like, it doesn't matter. We don't distinguish between legal and illegal THC here. If you got weed, we're writing you a ticket.
Fucking airports are also weird because they're semi-private, but also quasi-federal. Fucking airports are weird.
Yeah.
The airport.
When did you leave, Volusia? Because I know when I was 18, 19, so that would have been 06, 07, even in Tennessee then, if it was under an ounce, it was just a ticket.
Right. So I left in 2009, but in 2013, I was in Florida and I got caught with less than a gram, and they took me to jail. So there's that.
Well, every state's going to be different too.
Yeah.
Slim, they do have people in jail for weed here.
Okay, nobody's going to jail for smoking weed is my point.
No, not for smoking.
Well, and that's exactly what I said.
No, hang on.
Like if you get caught with a joint, if you get caught smoking a joint and that's all you have, you're not going to jail.
Let me explain the context. So if you're on probation, they do random drug tests 2 times a month at least. If you have THC in your system, it's a violation of your probation and you go to jail.
Yeah, that's
true. Motherfucker, you realize how many people I've let out of jail personally already that have failed fucking drug tests, okay?
Well, they've done. I actually sat and I witnessed them take a guy back into jail because he failed his drug test.
But if you're talking about failing a drug test when you're already on probation, that's a secondary type thing. That's not the original charge.
That's what I'm pointing out. Offense.
I'm pointing out the fact that there are people in jail for smoking weed, which is all I'm pointing out. You're right; they're not going to get you just because you smoke weed.
All right, so Paul came in here.
Okay, so my point still stands because and to top that one off, I literally drug tested about a dozen motherfuckers yesterday because we had court yesterday.
Yeah,
and I know for a fact that one of them failed a drug test and was still fucking released.
Well, they're a little more relaxed over there in Tennessee.
Hey, Slim, do you
county? They're not.
Do you have to watch them pee in the cup so they're not like trying to cheat?
Yep, they have you. They do. Man. They have you stand in front of a mirror. They stand there and
stand in front of a mirror. That's creepy.
No, there is no mirror in there. It's a fucking bathroom back in the jail, and.
There's a mirror because I do it and I see it. So I know.
Like what we do, like we knew we had court yesterday and we knew a bunch of people were going to have to take drug tests. So we just shut off the water to one of the cells, one of the holding cells up front.
Yeah.
Hey, Slim, does Flashlight Bro like that job too?
I don't know. He's on night shift now.
Yeah. Oh. I bet he loves drug test day. Flashlight Bro.
Dongs. No one's sneaking past me.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like he's cool and all, but he's a weird cat. He really is.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yes.
Like even just to have a conversation with him, like he just comes off as weird.
Well, what's cool about him then? I mean, everything we know about him is not cool. Really.
I mean, he's a nice enough guy. Does his job well.
I would hate to see I would hate to see Flashlight Bro's personal search history on the internet.
Yeah. He's had a VPN since they were a thing.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably not a great idea.
He's the first person to ever have a VPN.
He's got version 1.0 of NordVPN, so. Yeah, we need a weekly update on Flashlight, bro, too.
Yeah.
What's the update on the Georgia Tech Clemson game?
Update is I'm going. I'm staying I'm sleeping on Rex's couch.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I'm gonna show up. I'll be there. I don't necessarily have a ticket with you guys, but I'll come down there and fraternize with you.
That's a good point.
Figured tickets out.
Yeah, you said that because my wife was asking about that. She's like, "You got to buy a ticket," and I said, "I don't know what's going on with the ticket situation yet."
The only thing with that is like people will throw tickets at me, but it's usually like the week of, and we probably we don't want to be left with our dicks in our hands.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I did the math the other day. I think it was last weekend that I was working. We're gonna be switching back to night shift at the end of September.
Uh-oh.
That's really gonna fuck up my college football watching.
Yeah, it is. Boy.
Yeah, that's not cool.
You're going to have to record the games and just stay off of YouTube for like 3 months.
Don't spoil it for me. So we've got 4, right? Me, you, Sea-Dog, and Hufferbilly.
That's right.
We need 4?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay.
As far as I know, that's it.
I mean, BA, I asked BA, I invited her if she wanted to come. I'd get tickets for us. I'd just get them on the street if I need to. Because we can all hang out before the game and we can meet at halftime and all that stuff. Regardless, we'll work it out. It's not like the end of the world, right?
Together.
If BA comes, Mrs. Pete's going to be mad at me because I told her she couldn't come.
We just
now, Pete, we may have to work something out because I'll be back on days by the time the ACC championship comes around.
Yeah.
And Clemson and Miami both have the best odds to win it.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do. That's going to be a good, even though we don't play each other, maybe we'll play in the ACC championship. God, can you imagine Miami and Clemson in the ACC championship? Oh, hell.
What's funny, me and Vic
piss out of them, didn't it?
Yeah.
Me and Vic did that Miami prediction. Me and Lou had the exact same game prediction. Both of us had us losing to Notre Dame and Virginia Tech.
Really?
Yeah, I had y'all losing to Notre Dame and SMU.
And I get that. I think
Miami in the ACC championship game, they forget this. I don't forget that shit.
Yeah, and I think they might have.
Yeah.
I'd forget about it too.
Miami has a chance because they dodged Georgia Tech this year.
What date is that game? It's always the first Saturday in December. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In December.
Whatever that day.
I know that everybody thinks that we're going to lose to Louisville. I actually think we're going to lose to Georgia Tech. I think because we're on the road, we'll be focused for the Louisville game. But I think Georgia Tech will sneak up on us.
Well,
they could get us.
The reasoning behind the Louisville game is it's a road game on Friday night, which usually doesn't work out well for the higher ranked traveling team.
I get that, but I see Paul's point about Georgia Tech too, because Georgia Tech's strength, at least last year, was running the ball, and that was definitely Clemson's weakness, was the rush defense.
So this is a perfect.
On Georgia Tech, absolutely.
This is a perfect time to announce that we are previewing Miami tonight on the ACC show. I had to push the ACC show back a day or ahead a day, whatever. So I don't know if you're going to be working or not, or available or not, Slim, but we'll be talking about your team.
No, I'm off tonight and tomorrow.
All right, good.
Come on in. Yeah.
No, it sucks, man. I got to work fucking 4th of July, which, I mean, whatever. I get holiday pay. So.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sucks, but
do you do anything for the inmates on 4th of July? Like you give them hot dogs and whatever, hamburgers?
No.
Let's
see. Friday's menu would be. No, beans are on Thursday. Friday's menu is.
God, I bet the food there is terrible.
Oatmeal and toast for breakfast.
Oatmeal and toast.
Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe sausage.
That'll prevent me from committing crimes just right there, that menu.
No. You want to know what to really fuck it up? Same thing at 4:15 every day for dinner: a bologna sandwich and a bag of baby carrots.
What the hell?
Yes.
I just got sick a little.
So, is there anything nutritious in that jail, or what? I mean, fruit, vegetables, anything?
Oh yeah, I mean, like lunch yesterday was white beans, cornbread, like a little fruit cup, and something else. I don't remember what it was. It might have been rice.
No, that sounds terrible.
It's not great.
Yeah.
And stay away from the chili dogs on Saturday.
Ugh. A jail chili dog? That sounds disgusting.
Uh-oh.
It looks more like
anyway.
It really looked more akin to Lou's bean soup more so than chili.
Yeah. It's like
I would venture to guess Guantanamo Bay feeds their prisoners better than you guys feed yours.
Now the hot dogs aren't terrible. Now, granted, I got like 2 hot dogs and had them fry them and just split them down the middle.
No, Volusia Slim works at a jail now.
Oh yeah, I'm the 5-0 now.
What happened? Is this like a? I
thought, I didn't know if you were around when I told the story. I got into actually a pretty bad wreck.
He got into a really bad wreck in his truck. Yeah.
And I just decided I didn't want to drive anymore. And I mean, I've worked corrections before, so I mean, it's just, obviously jail's a little different than penitentiary, but.
Plus, he's not on the road every night. He's home with his family every night. Well, except when he's working nights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's it. Every 3 months we swap days and nights.
Okay, but unfortunately, you're doing nights. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I swapped from nights to days June 19th. So right around the same time in September is when it's time to swap back. But we'll swap again in November.
And there's no TVs in the jail. Is what he told us.
He said in intake they have a little TV.
No, there is a TV in intake that.
But you're not. But you're not standing in intake all day long. Aren't you like moving around the jail?
Unless I'm the officer working intake.
Oh, okay.
Looks like you're going to be doing it.
You can't like sneakily watch it on your phone or find a little.
No, that's the other thing. Like he doesn't have. There's no phone service in there.
There's like one room in that building where you get phone service.
Damn.
I mean, it's 4 foot thick concrete walls.
Yeah.
And ceiling.
God damn. All right.
It sucks. That sucks for Slim.
It's not.
Back in the squad room. Back in the squad room.
I was in a bad place because, I'm on a fucking 12, 13-hour time difference depending on daylight savings time. So, during college football season, I'm up, the games will start at 1 a.m. or 3:30 in the morning, but at least I can fucking, I can still do it,
Yeah, so what do you do? Do you try to catch a nap before you wake up at 1 a.m. or do you just stay up from the day before?
It depends. So if the game's at like midnight, then I'll just stay up. Sometimes there's bars that'll stay open until like 3:30 in the morning, and I'll just watch it there. If the game is at 7, for example, the LSU game's at 7:30 in the morning, so I got a place, American-owned place owned by a Gator fan. He'll open up for me, and we'll go and watch that out there. So we'll just go to the bar at 7:30 in the morning on Sunday morning and just get some mimosas and watch it out there. And then if it's at like 3:30 in the morning, I usually just watch them at home.
Yeah.
Take a nap beforehand, like you said. Try to get to bed around 10. Take a nap. Wake up at 3:30 and watch like that. I mean, it fucks up my weekend, but I'm used to it. I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, that's called dedication.
Yeah, and to top it off, I'm officially down 50 pounds since the Slav Olympics.
Oh shit!
That's great.
Congratulations.
You're gonna live a long time, Slim. You better be saving.
Fuck, I don't know if I am or not. My fucking shoulder's killing me.
You're on the road to health. Now you just got to quit smoking.
Right.
Yeah, now I just got to quit smoking.
Dude, listen, I mean, at least if you're like, I quit smoking and now I vape, but like vaping isn't as bad for you as smoking.
Bro.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know about. I don't think it is as bad, but here's what I'll tell you. So I got off the vaping. I did the same thing, Volusia. I vaped for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And getting off the vape was way harder than getting off cigarettes.
Sure, but that's because you're quitting nicotine. Because you went from cigarettes to vape. Going from cigarettes to vaping is not that hard. Going from vaping to nothing is hard because you're quitting the actual nicotine. That's
right.
The real quitting.
Yeah, and that's what I did.
Well, I don't know if you were listening to Lou's fucking shit show Saturday, but he just fucking cold turkey quit smoking.
That was pretty smart. I guess it's been a couple of weeks. He hasn't had a cigarette.
Something like that. Almost to it, Lou.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I did not know.
Yeah.
But like, look, the thing about vaping is like, no, is vaping good for you? Of course not. But smoking is for sure worse. I mean, you're not inhaling tar.
I agree with you. The thing is, people told me whenever I said I was using vaping to quit smoking, they were like, yeah, but you're going to have a harder time getting off the vape than you would cigarettes. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then when it came time to actually do it, they were right.
I mean, I don't know how much better vaping really is, though, because, okay, yeah, you're not inhaling the tar from cigarettes. You're inhaling fucking vegetable oil.
It's not as bad. It's definitely not as bad.
Well, I don't think it's known because the particles in vape penetrate your lungs deeper because the particles are smaller. And there hasn't been enough time to see whether that's worse or better.
I agree. Like, you don't have long-term studies on it yet.
Well, there is some conditions that are related to vaping that are known. This is if you're like a heavy vapor. I don't know how much you vape. But the problem is with vaping is you can vape in areas that you can't smoke in, so you tend to use it a lot more than you would if you're just smoking cigarettes. That's the problem I had.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing.
Exactly right, Pete. Like Pete, I work on the 40th floor of the building that I'm in, right?
Wow.
And so I can sit there and vape at my desk and sort of shoot it.
Exactly my point. Yeah.
Right. If I want to get a cigarette, I got to get in the elevator, go all the way from 40 all the way down to 1.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is you end up ingesting like 2 or 3 times much more nicotine in a day as you did when you were smoking.
And that's a fact because I have to go outside to Sallyport obviously to smoke. I can't smoke inside.
I used to love it. I mean, I would vape in my house. I would never smoke a cigarette in my house. I got kids and everything.
Me neither. But
I would vape all day long in the house. I would go to a movie or a restaurant, vape there. I didn't give a shit. Hell, I was vaping on planes, even though you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's a rough one. But I'll vape in the airport.
Like yesterday, we had a fucking court day yesterday. I didn't get a cigarette from like before lunch until 5 o'clock.
Now, Slim, have you tried Zins?
I have not, but there actually are a few people in there that dip, and I've been known to dip back when I was working in plants that I couldn't smoke in.
Yeah, the difference between a Zin or even a snooze, which is actually tobacco, and I was using those for a while, is that you don't have to spit. Like with dip, you need the bottle to spit in, but with a Zin or a snooze, you actually don't have to spit.
Yeah,
and that's
I know.
Why don't you have to spit?
Because there's no snooze. It's because the pouch actually retains the saliva, so it doesn't have to drip.
Yeah, there's no tobacco. There's no tobacco juice.
Oh,
right. Yeah. I did I don't know what I did wrong. I tried to do that to get off the vapes. So I went from cigarette to vape, and then I was like, I don't want to vape anymore, so I'll do the pouches. I don't know if I just bought one that was too strong or something, but it made me nauseous. After 10 minutes, I was about to throw up.
So I had got some because I get them out here, right? We can get the Zin brand or this brand. It's fine.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get ones that are too strong. I went to Australia last year and I got some of them down there. They were like 20 some milligrams. And I stuck one of those in within 30 minutes. I was like spinning. I was like, holy.
Yeah. You feel like you feel like you're drunk or high or something.
It was bad. You feel nauseous. You need to get one that has less nicotine in it and you'll feel way better.
Okay.
I mean, I've never screwed with those, but there were, when I was doing environmental work going from, plant to plant, there were some of them that we couldn't smoke in. So there's a lot of us that just put in a dip while we were working since we couldn't smoke.
So you're going backwards. I just took up cigar smoking and it's great.
I've been on cigars for a couple of years anyway.
Yeah, but I hadn't smoked until 61. And I started smoking cigars. I'm going the reverse direction here.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cigars are different.
Wrong way.
Cigars are different.
But you don't inhale, right? Like Bill said.
No, you don't. You can't. You'll be sick as a dog.
I mean, I know some people that do. They're just like, but they've done it for so long, it just doesn't bother them.
No,
I mean, I inhale cigars,
they're good. They're good with.
but I'm an idiot.
Rec Talk's the biggest nicotine addict on this panel right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I get a hard on thinking about nicotine. You know what I'm saying?
Rec Talk goes through like pallets. He buys dip by the pallet.
we had a supervisor, Reggie, and he was at one of the Nucor steel mills. That motherfucker would go through a can of dip and a pack of cigarettes a day.
He'd be smoking while he was dipping.
Oh, I've literally seen him put in.
Now that's hardcore there. God dang.
That's kind of bad, bro.
I threw Sea Dog for a loop. I was on the phone with him. I was like, hold on a second. I'm at Quick Trip. And I was like, yeah, all the Longhorn straight you have, which was like 20 cans.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, what are you doing? Buying dip. What do you mean, what am I doing?
Hey, at least you're on some better shit than people I worked with. That last one I worked with that I'd get a dip from, he was on Wintergreen, Copenhagen.
Yeah. Well, it's too expensive. I would do that, but I mean, it's like $8 a can now.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, fucking Copenhagen's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the good shit.
How much are cigarettes now? I haven't bought a pack of cigarettes in a long time.
I still pay around $6.
Oh, that's not bad. That's about what it was when I quit. But I don't know.
I'm also, I get a discount because I've been going to this. I'm a creature of habit. I've been going to the same tobacco store for 5 years.
How much do you pay for, how much do cigarettes cost in China?
It depends. And so it's actually a totally different thing. You can get cheaper ones and more expensive ones. So you can get cigarettes as cheap as $1 and you can get them as expensive as 20. It just depends.
Well, I mean, it's the same way here.
I mean, kind of. It's a little bit different because the different brands have different flavors, and the cigarettes that you get in China are a lot more varied in terms of flavors and in terms of styles.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about what as far as the price. You can get a pack of menthols that's $2. You can get a pack of menthols that's $12.
Right. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I would say the cheaper ones are probably about 75 cents. The more expensive ones are like $20. It just depends, and there's everything in between, whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm probably legit down to half a pack a day now, maybe a little bit. I'm down from a pack a day, which I've been for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I told y'all this. This was late 23. I had a pretty bad lung infection because I was on a pack and a half a day then, and I had to quit altogether for a good, I don't know, maybe 3 months because I was hospitalized for a little while. Got through it obviously, and that's when I started with the snooze, and then I ended up, instead of going back to smoking, just kind of vaping and easing that in, and it's fine,
I quit for all these months. I was past all the nicotine cravings. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do it again.
Smart.
Yeah, very smart.
I've thought about taking up smoking because I started watching Sopranos again. And when I watched Johnny Sack smoke a cigarette, I'm like, God damn, that looks good.
Yeah.
You remember what happened to Johnny Sack in the end, though, right?
He died of lung cancer.
I mean, studies do prove that you're 35% cooler when you smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
True.
Well, I found the hardest part of quitting. Well, obviously the nicotine was hard. The urges from nicotine were hard, but just the routine that you have of, after you eat, you go. What's the first thing you do? Smoke. Have a cup of coffee.
Ask you about that. Obviously I broke that habit when I quit smoking and switched to vaping. Now, as we were talking about a minute ago, is I don't necessarily make vaping a habitual thing when I do it after eating. So I'll just kind of just vape throughout the day here and there.
Yeah.
Did you find that to be a thing?
Yeah. That's true.
Now, for all that, and I touched on this when Lou was talking about it on his shit show. Yes, Pete quit until Pete gets around somebody that's also drinking with him that smokes. Then he's a cigarette.
Yeah. If I get shit faced and there's a bunch of people smoking around me, I'll bum a cigarette. I'm not. it's not like I haven't had a cigarette in 3 years, but I don't smoke like on a daily basis. Yeah.
You're not a fanatic. Yeah.
No.
Oh, you legit went through a pack of cigarettes on the cruise, if not two.
Well, I was drunk for 4 days straight.
Yeah.
Beat out.
But see, when I got home, I didn't smoke anymore. You know, which is the.
No, I mean, I'm with you, Pete. I understand that. Like, if you're proper drunk and you're around someone who's smoking a cigarette, you might bum one or two. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and listen, if we're drinking 18 hours a day on that ship, and there's 5 guys around me smoking cigarettes, I'm thinking, I smell the cigarette, I'm like, shit, I want one of those.
Yeah. I'm the same way. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're doing it in that particular context.
Just so I'm not picking on Pete, Mrs. Pete's just.
Oh, she's even worse than me. She's even worse than me, and she's never been a smoker her whole life. At least I have an excuse. I was a smoker for 30 years, 20 something years. She's never been a smoker her whole life, but when she gets tipsy and someone smokes around her, she'll bum your whole. You may as well just go ahead and give her the pack.
Yeah. No, her favorite thing. Short me up.
Oh yeah, short me up.
That's her favorite thing.
Yeah, but when she says short me up, she wants the whole thing. She wants you to hit it once and then give her the whole cigarette.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then she wakes up tomorrow sounding like this.
Now I'm not gonna lie, Belushi. Like, part of the reason I haven't quit smoking, like I said, I'm down 50 pounds. Fucking nicotine and coffee are great hunger suppressants, and that's part of the reason That's part of the reason I'm down 50 pounds.
Well, they say that if you quit smoking, you put on 20 like that.
I did. That happened to me.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm thinking I need to hit 200 instead of 210. That way, when I quit smoking and I put that 20 back on, I'll be all right.
I put on 20 pounds within a few weeks, and then I was like, then I had a hard time, like, with putting my pants. My pants wouldn't button. So I was like, I either gotta buy a new wardrobe or I gotta lose like 10 pounds. So I lost 10 pounds. But yeah, you do gain weight if you're not using nicotine regularly.
Oh, and I have to make a confession. I'm a little embarrassed about this, but I've gone full Kevin on us. I've switched to 0 sugar sodas when I drink sodas.
That's good.
Yeah.
Why would you be embarrassed by that?
Right, yeah.
Because it's fucking terrible.
No, it's not.
They're gross as shit because they're fucking disgusting, man.
I love
I drink 20 Diet Cokes a day, and I'm like,
I might be one of the few people who loves the taste of artificial sweetener. I think it tastes great. I think it tastes better than sugar.
Yeah, tickles my balls. I love it.
Like, I'm barely even using coffee creamer now. Like, I've got these, they're a little sweet for my taste, but my wife picked up these protein shakes, and I'll substitute that in my coffee instead of creamer.
Just drink the coffee.
It's good, dude.
Just drink the coffee black.
I've tried to do it. I can't do it.
No, I can't put shit in my coffee.
I prefer coffee black to begin with, so I don't care.
100%. Me too, Pete. I don't put shit in the coffee. Just drink the coffee.
How many grams of sugar in a Coke?
How much what?
How many grams of sugar in like a 12-ounce Coke?
I think it's like 8. No.
A 12-ounce Coke, it's like 39 grams of sugar. Man.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a ridiculous amount.
It's like 40. It's not 8. It's like 40. Yeah. It's a fucking whole heaping handful, dude.
That's insane.
Let's be honest about it, too. Like, those artificial sweeteners are not good for you either.
How do we know that?
Well, there is issues with them, but I think it would be better to have the artificial sweetener than blow up to 400 pounds drinking sugary drinks.
Oh, look, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, this could be one of those vape versus cigarette arguments, right? And I think
it probably is.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I mean, there's no calories in Diet Coke either. I mean, how many calories are there in a regular Coke?
A lot.
A regular can of Coke I think is over 200 calories.
Yeah,
I think it's like 300. Yeah.
Yeah, that's retarded.
I started that whole calorie counting thing too. Like, until you're actually counting the calories you take in, you don't realize how much you're fucking. Holy shit! Because I went from intaking, it had to be over 3,000 calories a day, to, for the better part of 3 months, I've been under 1,000 a day.
Dude, a large Zaxby's chicken finger plate without any sauce is over 4,000 calories.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fries.
Well, I've never ate a large Zaxby's chicken finger plate by myself.
And then you drink a Coke on top of that, probably a large one too.
That's another. That's another 800. The thing is, like, but it does depend on from where the calories are coming, right? Like, I mean, it can't all be sugar and trash shit. Like, if you eat calories in the form of like a chicken breast and some avocado or something, that's different.
Yeah, like days that I know I've gone over and well over 1,000, I really didn't give a shit because it was all protein calories, so I didn't give a fuck.
Or a little bit of carbohydrate here and there is fine as long as it's complex and it's not just a bunch of fucking sugar and candy and shit.
Well, and usually it's like last night. I had 2 eggs and a piece of toast for dinner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Y'all sound like a bunch of cackling women talking about calories.
Well, I mean, we don't want to die when we're 60.
Yes, I'd like to see my kids grow up and have grandkids and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know how
I'm just saying, you're counting calories. Y'all must be watching Jillian or something. I don't know.
Well, my issue is that my calories mostly come from alcohol and mixers, right?
There you go.
Like, I don't eat that much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most of my calories come from gin, vodka, and fucking juice.
Hey, fun fact, vodka has no carbs.
But it has calories. Alcohol in and of itself has calories.
Yeah, but very little. But that's why women love vodka so much, because it won't make you fat.
Well, it depends, man. There's a couple aspects to that. Part of it is that alcohol itself does have calories, and then on top of that, it fucks up your metabolism if you drink it too often, right? And so it also inhibits your ability to digest the food that you actually eat, right? And so it stores more of it as fat. So alcohol definitely.
Well, then how come people like me and you are skinny?
I'm fucking I'm skinny fat, bro.
And I don't drink.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they call it
fucking bullshit.
a beer belly.
Yeah.
I got skinny arms, but I'm not that skinny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. You're not you're not obese.
That's the worst fucking place to be, Pete. Come on now.
Let's see it.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna get another beer. Give me a second.
Yeah, see, I don't have fucking skinny arms because I didn't even got in the habit of going to the gym before I go to work in the morning. Like, I was in the gym at 3:30. What the fuck am I doing?
Now you're shaming us.
I mean,
I'm fucking shaming myself. Like that, I'm not living up to the slob standard.
A regular. This is from McDonald's website here. A regular cheeseburger, not a double cheeseburger, not what's a Big Mac, none of that. A regular cheeseburger. 6 grams of fat, 300 calories, 15 grams of protein, 31 grams of carbs.
That's not awful, though.
But a regular McDonald's cheeseburger, I mean, I could eat like 10 of those.
True.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
All right, but you could make a cheeseburger yourself, and it would be similar stats.
No, but they have more. We looked this up. Like, if you look like Heinz ketchup versus McDonald's ketchup, because McDonald's has their own ketchup brand, and there's like 3 times as much sugar in McDonald's ketchup than there is in Heinz.
That makes
McDonald's has its own special recipe for Coke too.
Yeah, probably more sugar in it.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I saw this on TikTok the other day, so I'm going to rant on it. Who in the blue fuck is out here putting sugar in their spaghetti? What the fuck?
What?
An animal. First of all, the tomato sauce, if you buy it, it has sugar in it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. I'm not for rounding up illegals and putting them on Alcatraz Island, but anybody who puts sugar in their spaghetti probably should be sent to Alcatraz Island or Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah,
and fuck the due process. You don't get a trial. You're just going straight to fucking Alcatraz.
That's nasty.
Yes.
Yeah, what about sugar on popcorn?
What?
What?
That's gross too.
That's death penalty stuff there.
Yeah, what about
people like caramel corn and shit like that?
Now I haven't done that, but we did what we did. Let's see, last weekend I was off, so we were sitting here watching a movie, and we popped a bag of popcorn, and we'll dump some M&Ms in with the popcorn in everybody's bowl.
Oh, it's like sweet and salty thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Well, we were sitting here having a movie night.
That's not. I mean, that's not bad.
It's not atrocious. It's
What
not
I'm
kind of
saying is
easy,
just
man.
like instead of using salt, you're just pouring sugar on your popcorn. That's just weird.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, what about people who put sugar in grits?
Who does that?
I don't know.
Fat people.
Who are these sugar animals out there?
Now
Why
I'm
do
gonna
they
rant
just
on
put
this
sugar
too,
through
and I'm gonna rant on this too, and it's almost caused a divorce.
Nice.
Fucking people that put ranch dressing on every goddamn thing.
Oh, hey,
Like
Slim,
my wife is sitting there dumping fucking pizza rolls in ranch dressing.
Hey, Slim, you know who Joey Diaz is, right? The comedian.
Oh yes, I love Joey. He's an animal.
He says it's either blue cheese with wings or go fuck your mother. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, condiments in general are fucking stupid.
No.
Yeah, we've had this. Rec Talk has a very weird thing. He doesn't eat. He doesn't eat salads or salad dressing. He doesn't put condiments on anything.
No, dude.
You got live a little bit, Jesus.
It's now theater that you don't need.
I'm
Well,
with
it's
Rick
tasty.
for the most part, but I will admit that I've had more salads since I've in the 13 years that I've been married than in the 24 years before.
I mean, is there anything better than a good Caesar salad? No.
Yes, there's a lot of things better.
No, there's
Get a
not.
nice citrus vinaigrette or something like that.
Yeah, I like. Oh
good.
yeah, anything. Balsamic vinaigrette, right?
Fucking
Italian.
rack of ribs is way better.
Okay, right. But then what are you eating on the side? You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm talking about. Is there any better salad experience than eating like a good Caesar salad with?
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
I'm a carnivore. I'm a meat eater. I'm not a rabbit.
Look, the best meal you can have is a nice Caesar salad, a medium rare ribeye, or whatever kind of steak you like. I prefer ribeye, and a baked potato. That's it. Just the perfect meal.
I could put some. I have some like baby carrots or maybe some like something like this Brussels sprouts with some bacon or something like that. That's fine.
Like that too.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with just steak.
Look, condiments don't be a good barbecue sauce or a nice hot sauce or a nice mustard. Those are good condiments.
What is the exception?
Ranch and fucking ketchup. These are garbage.
All right, so you do.
Fuck you with your vinegar-based barbecue. Goddamn mustard-based barbecue sauce is hands down the best, and I will accept no other answer.
So, Rec Talk, what is the
this barbecue is good. I'm not trying to hate on that. That shit is great.
You say that there's exceptions. What's the exceptions for you?
So I will hot sauce. I'll eat hot sauce. Like I love hot sauce. A1 steak sauce. So I like Worcestershire like stuff. So I have A1.
Okay, but we need everybody on this panel to pronounce Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
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 Worcestershire sauce. It's Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
Yeah, and vinegar-based barbecue. That's
Worcestershire sauce.
Really? So you like Sweet Baby Ray's A1, and what was the last thing?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
Sweet Baby Ray's is a mustard-based Memphis-style barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
so
I don't
fuck
do
off.
that.
It's good.
Well, can we at least all agree that super sugary barbecue sauce sucks?
It's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, yeah. Kraft barbecue sauce is terrible.
Yeah, fuck that.
Now, about the only condiment outside of like barbecue sauce that I really use is mustard. That's it.
Sure. Now, I fuck with both the yellow mustard, like a classic French's yellow mustard.
Spicy
good,
brown.
But also a Dijon mustard is really nice. A Dijon mustard in the right place is really good, too.
Yeah, it's like a Dijon or a spicy brown mustard on like a turkey sandwich or a ham sandwich even.
On a roast beef sandwich with Swiss cheese.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about honey mustard?
Also good.
Honey mustard can go fuck itself.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I normally stick to the classic yellow because no calories.
Why y'all hate honey mustard?
I know I'm in the minority on this. I can't stand honey mustard. I think it's gross.
I don't have a problem with it. It's not my go-to.
Honey mustard is good on chicken, and I'm not gonna start slapping honey mustard on beef and pork and shit. But on chicken, on fried chicken, honey mustard is okay.
Fried chicken's great without anything else. Why do you need
no?
Hey, I say the same thing about steak. What do I need a fucking salad and a baked potato or fucking Brussels sprouts? Just give me the steak. Right.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm not putting sauce on a steak. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
I'll put sauce on a terrible steak.
If you get like a sirloin steak from the grocery store, you're gonna have to put some A1 or something on that son of a bitch.
Right, but fuck that. I don't eat that shit.
No.
If you're eating a steak, you don't need to fucking put sauce on it. If you need to put sauce on it,
doesn't need anything on it if it's cooked right.
I literally told the waiter at a fucking steakhouse. They asked us if we wanted steak sauce. I said only if the steak's not any good.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, if the steak is dry, you need steak sauce.
So, Volusia, one of the only condiments I eat you find to be bullshit, and this is interesting to me.
It is bullshit, man, because look, that shit doesn't exist out here, man. We got good steaks, man. You don't get offered sauce on your steak.
If you get like a nice cut of ribeye or something, there's really no need for anything on it other than salt, salt and pepper when you're preparing it.
Salt and pepper, that's exactly right.
And maybe a little bit of garlic powder.
I bet Rick eats ketchup on a well-done steak.
Do what now?
I said, I bet Rick eats ketchup.
Oh, I thought you said you did. Yeah.
No.
Isn't that, didn't Patrick Mahomes say he puts ketchup on his steak?
Trump said that too.
Yeah, well, Trump eats McDonald's every day. He's not exactly a food guy.
He's a fucking slob. He's a rich slob. It's pathetic.
Yeah, he used to be in the Slob Olympics. Yeah, he should come to the Slob Olympics.
He really should. I'm going to send Donald Trump an invite to the Slob Olympics.
Well, shit, apparently he's 6'4", 225. He might get drafted in the fucking second round by the Ravens before he fucking, Jesus Christ.
Hey, would Donald Trump go higher in the NFL draft than Shedeur Sanders?
Yes,
well, if he's as fit as he lies like he is, it's fucking pathetic.
Oh, fuck.
Well, they have a similar message. If you don't draft me, you're a loser. You don't want to win.
They really do, honestly.
Yeah. He puts ketchup on the big beautiful bill too. Yeah, probably.
Built it on that shit. Dumb fat motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Yeah, garlic butter on top of a steak, or even obviously truffle butter that's especially at high end steakhouses. That's popular. But they're like, "Do you want truffle butter on your steak?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then they bring the bill out. They charge you like $15 for the butter. Like, holy shit.
Every time someone says truffle butter, I can only think of like the Lil Wayne meaning of it, and I just can't do it. Dude.
Oh, it's really tasty. It's really rich, though. If you put too much on, you can't.
You know what truffle butter was in that song? Do you know what it meant?
No. Do I want to know?
You want me to tell you or not?
Yes, go ahead.
It's when you stick it in the butt, pull it out, and stick it in the vag, and then it makes that sort of tan color shit.
Oh, God. Why did I want to hear that?
It's fucking rough, brother. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't make it up. Shit.
Well, I was getting hungry with all this food talk. You just ruined my appetite.
We're keeping you from gaining weight.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Bro.
Holy
a lot
hell.
of truffle butter up in here. Yeah. You can do a whole rap song with that.
God. That's become Hopper Billy Paul's favorite word now is truffle butter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be great.
You're welcome, dude.
Yeah, we don't want to make a truffle butter tonight. Let's try to keep the vegetables separated.
Yo, that's how you get a yeast infection, dude. Don't do that shit.
Speaking of fucking truffle butter, I guess I'll regale everybody with the worst story from my last few days at work. Which I say worst.
What's going on in that jail? Jesus Christ, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's actually kind of fucking sad too, and somebody needs to come get this girl, but she's like, she's probably literally 5'5", 5 foot tall, 5 foot wide. But well, I'm trying to be nice, but that fucking girl tested my patience. That tested everybody's patience because she is also severely autistic. Mm-hmm. And she sat there and screamed in that cell for 6 fucking hours and just tested all of our patience. But no, at one point, she decided to say fuck the uniform.
Oh, she got naked?
Oh yeah, she got naked.
Oh.
And then we had to redress her.
Don't you have female officers to do that?
Well, we only had one there, and she wasn't going to manage it by herself.
Now, are you at a women's prison, or
that is reason 1,900 that I'm never working at a jail.
No, bullshit. It's not a prison. I work for the sheriff's department. It's a county jail.
Yeah, he's got a county jail, which is worse than a prison.
So you got male and female. They're separate, but they're both in the same facility. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's the
you declare that you're a female, then they'll put you in with them.
Yeah, how does that work? That's a good question.
That shit don't fly.
Okay, it doesn't fly there.
That is where you're going.
So if somebody comes in and
who's in charge of checking? You feeling them up, Slim?
Well, now everybody gets strip searched.
Where do the hermaphrodites go?
Yeah.
Where do the hermaphrodites
yeah,
go?
so if somebody walks in there and they've got boobs and a beard, where are they going?
They're probably going in PC, more than likely.
What is that?
Protective custody.
Oh.
They're going to be in a cell by themselves.
Oh, solitary.
Pretty much. Because you can't put them in there. I mean, you can't put them in with the women if it's got a swinging dick.
And you can't put them in with the men if they have double Ds.
Yeah, right. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
hey, that's a cheat code. That's a cheat code, man.
I mean, it's bad enough because we already got a few gay fellas in there that we have to keep away from everybody else.
Why do you have to keep them away from people?
They're sucking off the fucking lot, dude.
Because there's no such thing as consensual sex in jail.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So that they can't be with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't legally do that. Like, even if it's consensual in jail, you're catching a rape charge.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of fucked
like
up.
I said, legally, there's no such thing as consensual. Well, guess what? Not here. Go to fucking prison and do it. I don't give a shit.
I'll test this.
So in prison, it's not that way, but in jail, it is.
Well, no, in prison, it's the same way. It's still not legal, but when you have one officer to 168 inmates, it's much harder to control.
So it's the same rules. It's just more people get away with it.
Yeah, you get away with it more in prison. It just is what it is.
It's weird the difference between jail and prison.
Do you get a pass for that, like they talk about in Sopranos?
You mean like being prison gay versus being regular gay?
Yeah, like they're definitely two different things, right?
Yeah, like that is legitimately they call it gay for the state.
Gay for the state.
Stay in prison or jail, they'll just do it. Especially the girls, man, they're inventive.
Well, I could see it more. Maybe I'm just chauvinistic. I can understand the girls. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of hot.
Well, the thing is, I mean, let's be real. A lot of it is from coercion. Like if you're a smaller dude and you can't defend yourself,
That's actually much less like legitimately. You want to know who runs a fucking unit in a prison? The gay guys. They get whatever the fuck they want.
Why?
They put out.
Because they put out.
Oh God.
They run that fucking units. I'm not even bullshitting
you. You know.
That's why George is so popular in jail.
Yeah. Call him Brown Eye Bandit.
Oh,
shit. Bandits.
Reason 1,099 that I'm never going to work in a jail.
I mean, would you consider that like, hey, people have it out for you. You can either have the shit beat out of you every day, or you can get fucked in the ass once a week.
I'd be like, is there a third option?
No, there's not.
Well, here's the thing: you say once a week, but once you've established a certain precedent, I feel like people are gonna want to fucking.
I'd let them beat me. I'd let them beat me so bad that I was too ugly for them to even want me to have sex with them.
Yeah, I think that I would rather once a week.
You found a third option.
Yeah, look, I'm playing 4D chess over here.
Yeah, I think that I would rather once a week. But...
All right, good to know, Vic.
Yeah, I'm with you, Vic. Don't let them shame you for that. Bunch of fucking weirdos.
Hey, what number is having to strip search the stinky guy that I had to take care of a couple weeks ago?
Reason 2,000.
Okay. I ain't gonna lie. That
might be
motherfucker.
reason number one. I don't know.
That motherfucker stank. Oh, that son of a bitch stank. And you could the reason it I don't know if it's because he was homeless or because he stank so bad, but I almost didn't have to do a strip search because of what was left of his underwear, and there wasn't much left of it.
Oh God.
Yeah, a lot of folks who are like hardcore homeless for years, they just wear several layers of clothing and they end up sort of like melding in with their skin. This kind of
shit. Their shirt becomes a part of their body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was terrible.
That's sad, dude.
It is sad.
It's something to aspire to.
Richest country in the history of the world, though. Well, we got that shit going on. That's what's up.
Well, for some people.
What do you mean?
Don't rich shame the country now. What the hell, man? They got Donald Trumps out there. Come on.
And he cares
well,
about
if they didn't tell homeless people, or if they didn't tell crazy people, yeah, go be homeless. That's okay. We would have much less of a problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the vast majority of homeless people have mental issues and should be getting.
Well, a lot of homeless people develop mental issues from being homeless. Same with drug abuse.
Yeah, it's a complex problem.
Sucks, it turns out, it's to drive you crazy.
They reduced the homeless population by like 70% in Austin, Texas. I don't know if you heard on Joe Rogan. He had I guess it was the mayor of Austin on there. And they built these, I guess you would call it like assisted living facilities for homeless people to get them off of the street. And it's a whole program. They bring them in there, they clean them up, they get them a job, and eventually the idea is that they become self-sustainable. Now, obviously, that's not going to be 100% success rate. You're going to have people that just aren't.
Nothing is going to have 100% success.
No, but what they're doing there should be a model for these other cities like L.A. and San Francisco and every other major city that has a homeless problem.
That's right. But guess what? Austin's also a liberal city, isn't it?
It is, and I think the mayor's a liberal too.
Liberal. And then they'll say, "Oh,
but
well,
they
who's
don't
going to pay for it?"
They don't. They also don't have the impossible building regulations that there are in California. Like, that's their biggest problem.
Well, they can change, but California can change that if they want to.
Oh yeah, they can. Like,
I mean, if you look at
when I say stupid ass building regulations, and I'm sure Belushi saw this story too. This was probably 7 or 8 years ago. A company was going to donate completely free an outdoor toilet because of all the people shitting on the streets in San Francisco, and to get through all the government red tape, it would still cost over $1 million for a free public bathroom.
That's ridiculous.
And that's what I mean by California's dumbass regulations.
Right. Now, of course, I agree with some of the regulations and I disagree with others. But, I mean, come on. I mean, I'm with you on this one.
Just trying to make a place for people to shit. I mean.
Well, common sense
regulations, not in my backyard regulations.
My point is, if there's a city like Austin or any other city, and they've figured out at least some way to manage the problem, and it's being successful, why wouldn't every other city adopt the same thing? I mean, it just seems to be common sense to me.
Well, to Rex's point, a lot of people are going to go, well, how much does it cost?
Well, how much does it? Well.
And then you look at this bill that they're passing that adds trillions to the debt and deficit.
Right.
You're like, okay, it's not a fucking money thing. Because whenever it's something you want to spend money on, like, I don't know, indiscriminately killing people in other countries, it's not an issue.
I say, how much money does it cost to operate the hundreds of military bases we have all over the world?
Yeah. Like, I'm also, against, raising the budget in any sense. Like, I think overall it needs to go down.
Yeah. Well, no one's adding more to it than the current administration.
And I'm not in favor of it. I'm much like Peete in that. I'll praise what he does that I like. And
HBP.
And I'll
I
shit
remember
on
when Biden was in office and you said, hey, they all do this. It's fucking fun.
No, I said it even then. I said, we can hang that around his neck, but it's no different than Trump.
Trump's like, fuck.
Hang around too.
The hell with Slim Shady Canes.
Fairly consistent with Biden. I didn't blame him for anything because that motherfucker didn't know where he was.
The hell with Slim Shady Canes. Put him back on the no-fly list.
Yeah, put me on the fuck him. Put me back on the no-fly list.
Did you get off of it, Slim?
I flew down to Orlando.
Yeah.
There you go. Next stop, come over here, man.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Boy.
We need to buy our own island, and we'll make our own
the closest here. I'll meet you halfway. We are going to go to Japan at some point. So
that's not halfway. That's fucking. You're coming 90% of the way, then.
Well, hey, I'm 90%. You only got to come 10%. I'm thinking about it.
That's cool. I like Japan. I mean, Japan is cool.
My wife's always wanted to go to. My wife's always wanted to go to Okinawa.
The slobs rolling up in Japan would be something.
Oh, Okinawa is like not mainland. Okinawa is a bit off, a bit south of Japan. I mean, you should,
yes, but it's still considered. Yeah, but it's still considered part of Japan now.
Yes,
I mean, I know it didn't used to be.
Well, while you're over there, you got to hop over and at least see Tokyo while you're there.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure.
We looked into going because my oldest son's about to graduate next year, and that was supposed to be his graduation present. He's always wanted to go to Japan, and we looked into it, and holy shit, is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
We talked about this, bro. If you come to Japan, stay in Japan, but it's not that far. It's not that expensive to pop over to China for a little bit, dude. Come do it.
They won't imprison you, Slim. You know.
Oh man, Slim, you'd never leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
They fucking lock my ass up in a heartbeat.
They don't give a fuck, dude. Why the fuck would they lock you up?
Because Slim's crazy. Slim would say some crazy shit to these people.
Have you seen Slim's tattoos? I mean, they are the most American thing you've ever seen.
No one gives a fuck, dude. We fucking. I don't. The idea is
seen us lately.
Fucking crazy, man.
Hey, at least in Japan, I would fit in with all the fucking yakuza.
Yeah, there's people in China with tattoos walking everywhere, bro. Come on.
I'm not talking about tattoos. I'm talking about what the tattoos are.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck. I fuck. U.S. played in the World Cup. I'm on the subway with an American flag draped around my fucking back. No one gives a shit, dude.
Dude, I would walk through the airport in China wearing American flag overalls. I have some.
No one cares. Do that. No one gives a shit. That's not illegal.
Oh, they would care. They'd look at me going, "You dumbass."
I can see Slim.
They don't care, bro. No one gives a shit.
I can see Slim in American flag overalls with no shirt on underneath.
Oh,
they got bigger problems, Slim, than you.
And some fucking red, white, and blue Crocs.
Yeah, and you're
well,
like,
that's
point
a
me to the
fashion
nearest
crime,
McDonald's.
but it's not a fucking crime in China. Go ahead, do that. I'll do it tomorrow. Fuck, I'll do it with you. You come to China, you bring 2 pair, I'll do it with you, bro. You think they're arresting people in China for wearing an American flag on their shirt?
No, I'm not saying that, but like, listen, if I went to another country, I would be, and then completely intentionally, of course, I would be the epitome of that dumbass American.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to try too hard.
Yeah.
You've been preparing for that role for some time, Slim.
I have been. But you know what's funny? As much as you say that, like when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was probably about as liberal as Volusia.
Well, I think most people are.
People I grew up.
Most people are pretty liberal when they're young.
Yeah.
I was opposite. I went because I grew up in a red area. Like, oh yeah, George Bush is the fucking tits, baby. And then I rolled the other way.
Yeah, it turns out he's not the tits.
I've never even really. Smart. Well, and I think that's why me and Pete get along, because neither one of us were very conservative. Both of us come at it from a very libertarian point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do both agree that the Libertarian Party is a fucking joke.
Well, I think we probably both got hosed from the ends we came in on, because, like, for me with Bush, it's like, hey, that guy was a fucking liar about everything. None of this shit.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we didn't know. I mean, they lied to us. We didn't really realize he was a liar until it was too late.
Was he the liar, or was?
So, in other words, I voted for his first term. I did not for his second.
I did the same.
See, I wasn't old enough for that. But see, I voted for Barack Obama's first term, but not his second.
Right? Was it Bush or was it Dick Cheney?
Well, Bush, the buck stops with Bush. He's the president.
I get that, but at the same time, like Dick Cheney did shoot somebody
in the face.
How does it go?
In the face.
How's it go, Pete? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Talking about
Like,
nuclear.
I agree with Lou. Like, those motherfuckers had the Patriot Act ready to fucking go after 9/11.
Yeah, well, that might be the worst piece of legislation of my lifetime.
Yeah, it turns out we can do whatever we want. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, the Patriot Act was terrible, and of course, the Bill Clinton, the 1991 crime bill, another bad one. So
yeah,
they all do bad shit. They all do stupid shit.
Now people think it's bad in retrospect, but I honestly don't think so. We're gonna disagree on that one.
Okay.
The crime bill?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Like, guess what? Lock up fucking criminals. Wow, that's.
We
lock them up for longer. Why do you think? Like, why do you think crime went down though?
You don't think it's just a little bit? You don't think it's a little bit suspicious to make the penalty for crack cocaine like 10 times more harsh than powder cocaine? And
But why?
Well, because where was crack cocaine prevalent? What community?
No, that ain't got shit to do with it. Crack cocaine is
it doesn't have anything to do with it.
Cocaine is more easily, but guess what has the exact same penalty for the exact same amount? Crystal meth. Where is it more prevalent? Wait a minute. Where's it more prevalent? Oh yeah.
Same penalty as crack cocaine.
More so. Both of them are deadlier, and both of them are more easily transportable. That's why they were given harder penalty.
Well, neither one is deadly. Okay, let's be real. Neither one is deadly. Fentanyl is deadly.
Well, if you get hooked on it,
it is deadly.
Wait a minute. Please explain to the hundreds of thousands of people that OD'd on crack cocaine how not deadly it is.
Yeah, everything is deadly.
Slim, you do realize who's responsible for bringing crack cocaine in the first place?
Ronald Reagan, baby.
I heard it was Al Gore, but
it's the story of Freeway Ricky Ross. It's the CIA. It was funneling crack cocaine into the country to fund the war.
Yeah, I've heard that one too. I've heard Al Gore.
Against the Contra.
I heard Bill Gates implicated in it.
Al Gore? What?
Dude, I've heard a few conspiracy theories on that. Yeah,
dude,
like a train. What was the one? Hey, this is one Alonzo told me. A train mysteriously broke down in Compton, loaded with crack cocaine and guns intentionally.
He's also an idiot. So
well, he is, but I'm just saying. I've heard a bunch of dumbass conspiracy theories. I know which one is true.
Yeah, but see, the CIA,
he's talking about is not dumb.
That's not even conspiracy theory. It's pretty well known that the CIA sold crack cocaine throughout the United States to fund the war against the Contra.
It's been repeated until people are blue in the face. That doesn't make it the gospel truth. It just means a whole bunch.
Well, it has been the truth. I mean, there's been a bunch of whistleblowers that were involved in it that have said it's true.
Yeah, I have not seen. Well, and I'll admit I haven't seen that. So I don't know.
Some of this the government has admitted to too, like this whole war on drugs with Reagan, and we're giving drugs to other countries and funneling weapons to them to protect their drugs.
And I've said before on here that I didn't agree with that because and I didn't agree with them banning alcohol, but at least they did it the right way. They amended the Constitution.
How about this, Slim? When we invaded Afghanistan and we found millions of square miles of poppy fields that were obviously to make heroin. Instead of the United States taking control of the poppy fields and destroying them and destroying the people growing them, they protected the farmers and let them grow it. And y'all remember there was a scene on CNN with Geraldo Rivera, and he's out there in the poppy fields, and he's interviewing like an army general or whatever from the United States. And he's like, so tell me about why you guys are protecting these poppy fields. And the general's like, well, we realize we're invading their country and killing them, but it is a part of their culture to grow poppy, so we're going to just let them do it. Okay. Yeah, none of that. Yeah, none of that heroin made its way to the United States and funded part of the war, right?
Hang on. Geraldo Rivera lost all credibility with the whole Al Capone safe thing.
But forget who's asking the questions is irrelevant. The fact is that the United States was letting them letting them manufacture heroin. Why do you think that is?
No, Pete, I'll tell you the reason. Hold on now. I'll tell you the reason. part of it is what you said. The other part of it is that because back then the synthetic opioids weren't quite the thing that they are now, and so they needed it to fund the prescription drug industry and all the people that were pushing oxycodone and OxyContin and all these drugs and getting rich and all these billionaires, the Sackler family and all these people like that. So it was really the American military protecting the private interests of the pharmaceutical companies at that point. They needed all that to help fucking make all the drugs that they started pushing off on.
Well, whether they're selling it in heroin street form or they're selling it in a pill form is still the same. I mean, it's still the same thing in my
That's right.
mind.
Now they don't need that anymore. Because you can just make it synthetically in the lab, so they don't need that shit.
Oh.
So you can be a drug dealer, get caught with enough to be charged with trafficking and go to jail. Why is no one in the Sackler family in jail? Because
they should be in prison. You know why, Rex? Is because again, you kill one person, it's a murder. You kill 100, it's a massacre. You kill 100,000, and shit, good on you, I guess.
Good. I mean, I do find this conversation interesting because everybody says shit like that until they actually have something where they need fucking pain meds, and they're like, "Thank you, God."
Oh no! The pain meds are important to exist.
I don't think anybody's saying they shouldn't exist.
Using them was not
listen, fentanyl isn't a new thing. That's been around for 40 fucking years in hospitals.
Yeah, morphine and all that too. But that isn't. I mean, what's your point?
Everything else.
Nobody's saying those drugs shouldn't exist.
You should be honest about how addictive they are, though, which they were not.
Well, here's the thing: is that they use fentanyl. For example, my father had a surgery a couple of years ago, and they gave him, medical fentanyl in the hospital. But as soon as they used the F word, fentanyl, he was like, But, as most people are. But in the reality, Slim is right. I mean, it's actually it's been around a long time.
Oh yeah.
But the problem is now it's seeped out onto the streets and all this other shit.
Fuck, they gave my wife fucking ketamine when she had a C-section.
No, ketamine is fine. Well, except if you're Elon Musk and you're fucking, shooting it up every day.
Well, I'm about to say, people have been using that to fucking rape women for a long time.
No. Ketamine is not. No, ketamine actually has a lot of good effects in terms of treating mental disorders and things like that.
So Donald Trump. So you actually believe Donald Trump when he says that Elon is addicted to ketamine?
Well, sure. I don't.
No, I'm asking Volusia.
I don't know whether he is or not.
Have any of y'all ever taken ketamine before?
No, but
yes,
I haven't.
Recreationally?
No,
I have recreationally.
You know what being in a K-hole is like?
Yeah, no, I know what Special K is like. Yeah.
Have you seen Elon in a K-hole?
Yes, dude.
When?
That's what he's doing. Yes.
What? How do you?
I don't know.
How did you? How did you see him in a K-hole?
Man, I've been in a K-hole. You can tell, dude. You can tell.
Trust me, bro.
So, but where? So you tell me, like, when he's in the Oval Office, he's like zooted?
Mate, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I prescribe to that. Like, I don't know.
Dude, yeah.
All right.
I do think,
and again, there's also a tolerance to it. Like if I haven't used ketamine in fucking 10 years. So if I got, if I did a line of ketamine or if I did a whatever the fuck, I would be off my cracker off it. But like if you're using it like daily or a few times a week and you got a little bit of time, that's what he looks like, dude. That's exactly what he.
I don't know. I've never seen him and thought that person looks like they're on drugs. Maybe I have am missing
I'll
it.
find a video for you. I'll show you that show. I'll email it to you, dude. He's zooted, dude. Absolutely.
I mean, I saw him smoke 2 hits off a joint on the Joe Rogan show one time, but I don't hardly consider that being a drug addict.
No, for sure not. Absolutely not. We're not talking about smoking weed, dude. But and again, I think that all drugs should be legal. I'm not trying. The reason why I don't like Elon Musk is not because of this. What I'm saying is,
I think even most liberals in the U.S. I think most liberals in the U.S. are even kind of off that train after the fucking disaster that Oregon turned into when they legalized everything. Like even they backtracked on that.
Portugal's doing great. Portugal's doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, once again, even like Oregon legalized the possession of basically everything, and even they've had to backtrack on that. Because it was
because they didn't have the holistic approach to treatment facilities. It also has to be nationwide. It can't just be a one state thing. You know, and the United States the U.S. has a tough time with this sort of thing because it has to be a nationwide thing. It can't just be a one state or one.
I mean, I hate to break it to you, but that's kind of unconstitutional.
No, I understand, and this is one of the reasons why the U.S. has a hard time with this particular.
So, what is Portugal doing that's so great?
All drugs are legal in Portugal. Josh George and I were just talking about this in the chat. So in Portugal, all drugs are legal up to a certain amount, and then they put you in a treatment facility, and they have the infrastructure that's paid for publicly to help treat people, and they have the lowest drug overdose of any country in the Western world.
All right,
Yeah,
drug overdose.
Isn't Portugal like one of those half dozen countries that's on the brink of fucking bankruptcy, right along with Greece and Spain and? Like their fucking economy.
I mean, it doesn't cost that much money to do that. They have other issues.
Okay. Shit don't cost a whole lot of fucking money.
So square this circle or whatever that phrase is. Why does Oregon outlaw straws, but they don't outlaw drugs?
Yeah, drugs legal, plastic straws illegal.
Illegal.
Right, because people don't die from. Right. Listen.
What?
No. All these fucking climate doomsdayers, fucking plastic straws are going to kill the whole fucking planet. Don't you dare.
It's not that plastic straws are going to kill the whole planet. It's that plastic straws are definitely bad for the environment. Now they're trying to take a step. I mean, it's a drop of piss in the ocean. Obviously, we're already fucking up the planet. And,
we're screwed.
We're really not, though.
Okay.
I'm for getting rid of plastic credit cards. We should use paper ones.
Hey, let's just go. Hey, we've already got paper money. Why don't we just stick with that?
Yo, I'll tell you what. In China, we don't use either one of those fucking things. So there you go.
Yeah, it's all digital.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yep.
Now, if you're a drug addict,
trace everything.
Look, I can't buy my heroin with Venmo. Okay.
So. You could. Why not?
Wait a minute now. Drug dealers take Cash App and Venmo and PayPal.
They do?
That's your ass. They fucking do.
If I were a drug dealer, I wouldn't. I mean, then you can trace it. You can't trace cash.
That is a very good point. I mean, I didn't say it was smart, but they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything illegal. Well, except for my betting through Cash App.
Hey, what did we all learn from Jesse Smollett? Don't commit crimes with checks.
Yeah, well, no, checks, bro. Checks?
That motherfucker wrote a check.
Checks.
Damn.
Jesse Smollett. Yeah, you don't remember that shit?
My dad wanted to teach me what a check was, and then I never did it again.
Oh, dude, I still write checks in the grocery store just to annoy people.
Fucking wild, dude.
You're an asshole, sir.
I am an asshole, but Jesse Smollett also paid those two Africans with a check to pour bleach on him and beat him up.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Jesse's an idiot.
I'll tell you something that is a stone cold fact. Unless I've left this country, I haven't paid for anything with cash in like 8 full years. I haven't carried a wallet out of my house unless I was in the U.S. or in another country in 8 fucking years.
So what if you lose? You pay with your phone? What if you lose your phone?
Yeah, he's just as fucked as Sea-Dog.
You just don't lose your phone. Don't lose your fucking phone.
Yeah, you can say just don't lose your phone, but sometimes you do lose your phone. I mean, shit happens.
Yeah, you got the tracker on it, or you lose your phone, it cuts off. You go.
All right, you drop. You actually drop it in the ocean. Fuck, you can't find it. Tracker doesn't work.
All right, yeah, that sucks. What if you drop your wallet in the ocean? Shit.
Who takes their wallet in the ocean?
I don't. Guess what?
Come on, dude.
I don't.
Dude, I live
go out on my boat. My wallet stays in
I live streamed on YouTube in the ocean from my phone.
Why not do that? Also, you can have 2 phones if you're really concerned about this.
No.
But
if you're cheating on
losing your phone would be like losing your wallet.
Yeah. Like the only people that have 2 phones are cheaters and drug dealers.
Bullshit. I got 2 phones.
Yeah, what if you're gonna buy a hooker? Are you gonna Venmo the hooker? No.
Okay,
next thing you're gonna tell me is just. Next thing you're gonna say is just don't get a hooker, right? Yeah.
By the way, two things. First of all, people that are buying hookers in China, I'm not down that path. But what I'm saying is, yeah, maybe you keep a little bit of cash for that if that's what if you're going out for that particular purpose. Maybe you stuff some cash in your pocket. Secondly, a lot of people pay for hookers on the apps too, dude.
Yeah.
You just say services rendered. You just say services rendered. You don't have to describe why you're paying.
Hooker. What do you think it says? Hooker in capital letters at the bottom of the fucking. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, you're paying for their time. You're not paying for anything else.
That's right. Temporary companionship at the very least. At the most.
Hell, I sent Lou a cash app one time, and I said, thanks for the blowjob. That was what I put in the description.
Come on, bro.
What the hell?
Just because I wanted him to read it in the air.
God damn.
That's the most Huffer Billy Paul thing ever.
No, Vandy knows. Vandy's been in China. Vandy's lived here before. He knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, Vandy's also a fucking idiot. So.
No, he's not. He knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Cam confirmed he's an idiot.
Do you read the shit he types in the comment sections? He's a fucking moron.
I disagree.
Now, actually, Vandy's
haven't met up yet. Hey, Vandy, we still haven't met up yet. I know you're in Vietnam now. You're in Thailand for a while. I know you left China, but get your ass up here, bro.
Vandy's a little bit ahead of the game. He's ahead of the game on the surveillance society, so he's kind of on that front. He's smart, so I'll give him
that's
credit.
Because he's on the inside. He works for the IRS.
He doesn't anymore.
I said he worked.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll give him some credit. He's figured out how to get around all that bullshit, and he got out of this country too because he's like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
How about the working theory that Vandy Dandy did something and he's like, does Vietnam have a non-extradition rule?
No, we don't. Chill out.
Did Vandy Dandy commit?
Vietnam is a non-extradition.
For all we know, Vandy Dandy might be wanted for like 10 federal crimes, and he fled to fucking Vietnam.
He probably is.
Good for him.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying it's a theory out there. Because he worked for the IRS forever, and then all of a sudden he didn't work for the IRS, and he like immediately moved to Asia.
I mean, it is. You mean like that theory?
You mean he left a shitty job to come to a better part of the world? Oh shit! Shocking.
It really isn't better though.
For a fraction of the cost.
It is, dude. You don't know. You ain't never been here. It's way.
It doesn't matter because guess what? Millions of people flee every part of the world to come here every day because it's so much worse. Yeah, that makes sense.
He said they took my telework away, so I said deuces. What's telework? Does that mean like remote working?
Yeah, work.
Yeah, he couldn't work from home anymore. He had to go back into the office. Poor fucking thing.
Fuck you! I'm coming to Asia because it's better.
But that's a pay cut. People want to motherfuck these guys that work remote, and they were hired to work remote, and then they've got to commute now, which is a pay cut they're taking.
Yeah, it costs money to commute for sure. Yeah,
especially in DC.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity cost.
And guess what, though?
Yeah.
Then you're out of a job, and they're going to hire somebody that will come into the office.
It's all right, guys. Asia's horrible. Don't come. Trust me. Asia sucks. Don't come over here. It's
horrible. You always go to the extreme. Nobody said that. The U.S. is just better.
Okay. No, let's stay there. Don't come here. Come visit. I would love to see you.
I'm going to come. I'm going to come visit, but the U.S. is still better. It just is what it is. I hate to break it to you, but this is the greatest country in the history of the world.
Yep. What would be a good country to run back
there, man? Fuck that shit.
If you were wanted for something?
Portugal.
There's I forget the number of countries that have non-extradition. There's a few in Europe. There's a few in Asia. Russia, I think, is one of them, right?
Yeah, that's why Edward Snowden went to Russia.
Right.
I have friends that live in Thailand. I have friends that live in Portugal, and I have friends that live in Panama.
Oh, I know one that's that won't extradite you is Indonesia.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They got nice women.
Yeah, they got beaches. Probably pretty cheap to live there, compared to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ever get a Zoom call from me in Indonesia, I'm wanted by the feds.
Guys, I fucked up. I'm in Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand is a fucking amazing place.
I saw a video, and I don't know how real it is, but it seemed legit. Everything on TikTok's real. I saw a video of a house in Thailand. It cost like $88,000 American dollars, and it was fucking amazing.
Palace.
It was like it was amazing. It had a pool and everything.
Palace. Now the difference between a city like Shanghai is that if you want a place like that, it's going to cost you fucking $10 million.
Yeah, there's a big difference between Thailand and Shanghai.
Yeah.
And I saw comments in the comment section. They were like, "That's a great house for 88 grand and all, but the problem is you have to live in Thailand." And I'm like, "Is Thailand that bad of a?"
Thailand's awesome.
Yeah, right.
It's beautiful over there, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I've been to Thailand a few times. It's fucking awesome, dude.
That's what Traveling Fool says. It's his favorite place.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
I want to go there.
Yeah, the only thing about that makes
and Traveling Fools is another perfect example of, and I agree, Thailand's great. There's still no better country in the world than the U.S.
I mean, it's
for entrepreneurs, I agree with you on the U.S. If you got money and you want to save your money and then live on it for a long time, living abroad's better.
Better is a matter of perspective, I think.
It is all a matter of perspective, because here's the thing. I mean, you go to fucking Bangkok. Okay, that's about as bad as Harlem.
But yeah, we're not talking about Bangkok. I'm sure that house wasn't in Bangkok, otherwise it would have been more than 88.
But a lot of people still like to live in cities.
Well, you can go to Pattaya, you can go to Chiang Mai, you can go to Phuket. There's a bunch of cool places in Thailand, or you can just go wherever. What I'm saying, Pete, two things about Thailand. Preferably, if you go to Thailand, don't bring Mrs. Pete, and if you do, go out to the beach. Don't go to the cities. Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt Mrs. Pete's gonna let me go to Thailand by myself, but yeah. If I go to Asia, she's probably gonna tag along.
Like, I think the biggest difference you see is rural America is way better way of living than rural Thailand, rural China, rural Vietnam.
Depends where you're at. Generally speaking, yes, that is where the difference lies. And that's where, like rural France is great, rural Germany, rural, Spain, right? Yeah, you're correct about that. Yes, that is the difference.
I'll tell you, some of the best places that I've been is in upstate or the rural part of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Like Amish country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was driving a truck, we went into rural part of Pennsylvania. It was about 60 miles south of Pittsburgh to load up all the time.
I like it up where my father-in-law lives up in the Appalachian, mountains in Virginia. It's beautiful up there.
Yes, that's beautiful too. Shenandoah Valley. Yeah, that's where you want to be. So no, I mean, there's beautiful places in every country. The key is, are you being dictated to by authorities and being micromanaged by them? And if you're not, then you can make any place a great place to live.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not really about that. What it is about infrastructure, resources, and development. For example, I've been all around China. I've been to many places of rural China, and they're absolutely every bit as beautiful, and in some cases more so than the United States. I mean, China and the U.S. are countries that are similar in size and in sort of different landscapes and everything like that. The difference with China is that, everything that went on in the 40s and 50s, post-war, everything like that, kind of stunted the development of the country up until the 70s when Deng took over and kind of opened it up and turned it into a more capitalist situation. And so it had it lagged behind, and also has 4 times the population of the United States. And so
it does, but like my point
that have taken a little bit longer to sort of get to where the U.S. is. The U.S. is
there are still huge swaths of rural China that don't have electricity.
Sure, but that's the exception to the rule nowadays. If you go back 20 or 30 years, yes, but nowadays it's really the exception to the rule. But at the same time, yes, the development is still has some ways to go in a lot of those places. Now, some of them are fucking amazing and wealthy and great, and some of them still have a ways to go, right? But they're beautiful places nonetheless.
And I'm not even saying that would be terrible to live in, by the way, because it might actually be kind of fucking awesome. But
it's not because of the system.
I'm just talking.
It's just because of the development. It's just there's a lag behind the United States in development. Just in terms of the timing and the temporal situation. But I mean, like I said, I've been all around this country, and I've seen good, bad, and otherwise, and it's not as black and white as people would like to paint it as. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the perception from Americans that haven't been over there is that you're living under iron fist rule, and you're not.
No, that's correct. We're not.
That's not exactly true either.
Yeah, see, but that's not correct.
Okay. I mean,
it's like this.
I mean, there were some college students mowed down by tanks that would tend to disagree, but okay.
Well, that was 1989. That was a problem. That's a bad thing. Sure. 100%. I mean,
the difference is
as long as you don't rock the boat, yes, it's fine. But there ain't no protest going on.
That's kind of that.
Authorities were shooting people in the
yeah,
street.
Slim's kind of right about that. I mean, over there, if you say something they don't like, they're gonna. I mean, there's no due process. They'll just throw you in jail.
Yeah, what do you mean by say something they don't like? It's not. I mean, I say shit all the time. People say shit in private conversations. I say shit on
in private conversations. In private.
Okay, there was a protest in Hong Kong 5 years ago, and they were shooting protesters in the street.
It was 11 years ago, and they
wasn't that long ago.
Rubber bullets. It was 11 years. It was 24.
It's okay. They only shot a couple of people.
It was rubber bullets. They didn't kill anybody. Okay.
Yeah,
They're doing it right now in LA, for fuck's sake, dude. I mean, get black bag and come on, bro. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Name me the rioter in LA or the protester in LA that was killed. I'm all for
Name me the one
locking up rioters.
Well, there have been some people that have.
They're all named Chen. Okay, I don't know what else to tell you.
There have been some that have been killed or severely injured, but by other civilians, not by the police or the military, because. You know, these things where they try to stop cars from driving down the street, and eventually you're going to get some asshole just like, fuck these people, and just runs them over, you know.
Well, and that happens. You're not allowed to use your right to infringe on somebody else's.
I agree.
Okay.
When I was down in...
It's the thing that I think Slim's...
Here's the thing. Well, no. Let me be clear about this. I'm all for protest all you want. I don't care. That's one of our fundamental rights in this country. But to Pete's point, you don't get to use your right to block my right to freely travel. Get your ass out of the fucking street.
I agree.
Yeah.
Or get run the fuck over.
First of all, if you're not fucking shit up, then the protest is dickless. But moving on to what I wanted to say a minute ago is like, look. Comparing the United States and China, both countries are good. They have their flaws and they have their good points. In China, generally speaking, people are more likely or are more ready to give up what we might call freedom to get more safety. In the United States, people are more likely to give up safety to get freedom. And neither country.
I would tend to agree with that.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Both countries have their issues.
I was agreeing with you, fucker.
That you want to live in and what you're willing to give up in terms of your lifestyle. That's all it is.
I was agreeing with you, fucker.
Okay, I just wanted to finish what I'm saying. I'm not.
Yeah. No, I was agreeing with that point. Now and I'll actually give a little pushback on that, but just a little. Go back to fucking 2020. A lot of people in this country were ready to give up a whole lot of fucking rights for safety.
Well,
it boggles my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Not everyone was, though.
Yeah, you're right. Not everyone was.
And to that point, Slim, when we got locked down in 2022, which I regaled you with tales about, there were a good number of people in China that were pretty fucking pissed off about that, and there were some protests out here during that time, more than I'd ever seen in my fucking 16 years out here. So yeah.
Well, and I think you've hit on my overall point. Like, I've never once said any other place in the world is terrible. I mean, there's a few of them that are, sure. But all I've ever maintained is the U.S. is just better.
Right, but it's better for you. You know what I mean? Like, I like China for a number of different reasons. I still love the United States. You know what I mean? I still like to go there. But if you gave me a choice to live in one of the two countries, I choose.
Yeah, it just depends on what everybody's. It's kind of like, you know, we were talking about food earlier. Well, you don't like this. That food's nasty. Same thing with where you want to live. Some people would rather live in a place like China or, you know, whatever, than the U.S. There's nothing wrong with that.
Volusia's point, like some people, and I guess Volusia's one of them, that's just more into, he's willing to give up certain freedoms to have more safety, and I'm the opposite.
Right, yeah. China's safe as fuck, man.
When I went to Mexico on my honeymoon, I was like, I could live here. And as a matter of fact, I saw a bunch of old white people in this beach town that we were staying at, and they were driving around like they lived there, you know, with their own cars and stuff. And I asked the cab driver, I was like, "What's up with all these 70-year-old white people?" And he was like, "They could live in a one-bedroom shitty apartment in America, or they can live on a condo on the beach down here." So,
yeah, man. First of all, I'm not the only American that lives out here in China, and China's expensive. I mean, shit. I got a friend of mine down in Malaysia right now. I've been down to Malaysia. I've been to Thailand. You talk to fools. He's been to Indonesia and all these places. And there's a bunch of fucking white people or whatever kind of people who aren't from there that live there for that exact same reason.
Oh yeah, and once I don't knock that. Like I've heard the same. A lot of people retire and move to Mexico or places like that because the American dollar still goes so much farther.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just living off of Social Security or some sort of very fixed income, I mean, I'd rather live on the beach in a condo in Mexico and have my chance of getting shot by a cartel guy than in a trailer in West Virginia. You know what I mean?
But like, you can also move to a country like Thailand, Malaysia, or China or whatever, and actually work and get a job or start a business, right? Like I was saying, I was talking about how I go to this bar fucking 4 or 5 times a week probably, and it's owned by one dude from Chicago who's an Illini. I used to play basketball for the Illini. Another guy from Florida who's a Florida Gator, and they moved to China to open up a bar. They do really well. It's great. Like fucking, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure. I've got family members that did that. I got an uncle that spent like 7 years before he got into flying commercial passenger flights. He was doing commercial cargo flights out of Dublin for like 7 years.
Yeah. Can you become a citizen in China?
So that's extremely difficult. I can get a green card, which I'm eligible for. Okay, it's a good question. There's 3 ways you can get a Chinese green card. I know a lot of people who have them. The first way is you make a ton of money. For example, you're like a CEO. You might be like the China head of BMW or something like this, and you can get it by paying a certain amount of tax. If you make $1 million or $2 million or whatever it is a year, you pay a certain amount of tax, and then you can get a green card off of that. Number 2 is you can be like a high level, like a tech person. I know a guy. He's a Greek American. He's a professor of economics at one of the top universities in the country, and he's in Shanghai. I know the guy, and he got his green card fast tracked because he's like contributing to the yada yada. And then the other way to do it is if you're married to a Chinese national for 5 years, and I'm halfway down that road. I'll be able to get my Chinese green card in a couple of years. The reason why you want to get it is the same way you'd want to get an American green card if you're not a U.S. citizen. It allows you to not, if you get a U.S. green card, it's tied to your job. You can't change jobs. It's connected to all that shit. But if you get a green card, you can just kind of start a business or work part-time or do whatever you want and not have your employment tied to your visa and your work permit. You can just kind of do whatever you want like that.
So you can pay for it? Isn't this what Trump proposed?
Yeah,
well, that's $5 million, which I don't have.
The gold card.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting, because I know, like, in Japan, there's not. Like, no way you can become a citizen in Japan.
But again, I want to clarify. What I'm talking about is not a citizenship; it's a green card.
Hold on. In Japan, if I wanted to move there and live there for the next 40 years of my life, I can never become a Japanese citizen.
Same for China, but you could get a green card. You understand what I'm saying?
The green card is the highest.
Green card is permanent residency.
That you can, and that's the highest thing that.
Right. So I'll never become a Chinese citizen because in order to do that, I'd have to give up my U.S. passport, and I'm not going to do that. But I can get a green card, right? The U.S. passport is just objectively a better passport to have, and I don't want to have to get a fucking visa to go back and visit my parents and all this shit, right? What I'm saying is,
especially now.
Right. I'm not going to do that. But I can get
Volusia get deported.
I can live here and work here indefinitely, and I don't have to worry about getting a visa renewed every year or 2 years. And just have the green card, much in the way that a Chinese citizen, for example, if my wife and I move back to the United States, if we move back to the United States at some point, she can get a U.S. green card and permanent residency, but doesn't have to get a U.S. passport. She can have her Chinese passport so that she doesn't have to get a visa to visit her own parents if we come back to China, but can live and work in the U.S.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Right. And I can do the same thing as in China.
Yeah, Volusia came back over here. They'd throw Volusia right in alligator Alcatraz.
They're sending their worst over here.
I'm a U.S. citizen. They suck my dick.
Well,
no, I meant if you surrendered.
Stop with where they are.
I meant if you surrendered your U.S. passport, like you were talking about.
Well, then I just have to get a U.S. visa, I guess. But then it would be weird. It would raise some red flag. But I'm not going to fucking do that.
Okay.
I didn't even catch that you give up your U.S. citizenship.
No,
I have not done that. No.
He said he would, in order to become a Chinese citizen, he would have to surrender his U.S. passport.
That's right, but that's not really a thing. The only people that I know that have done that have surrendered their own citizenship to get Chinese citizenship, I know some soccer players who are professional players, and most of them are from Brazil. I know a few of them personally, and I know of some other guys. And so they play professionally here in China, make more money than they would make in Brazil. And so they naturalize, they surrender their Brazilian passports, become Chinese citizens, and they just live in China and they do that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't know what the policy if they want to return to Brazil is, but I'm not going to do that. But I can get a green card. I don't have to surrender my U.S. passport. I'm still a U.S. national. But I would have hopefully in the future a Chinese green card, meaning it gives me more freedoms to live and work in China without having to, apply for visas and jump through different hoops that I have to now.
All right.
Like
so China doesn't let you do dual citizenship like I know some people have.
That's correct. That's right.
Okay.
So some countries allow that, China does not. Yeah.
Yes. I know, I know some people. Mainly some rich ones I've heard about have got like dual citizenship in the U.S. and France.
Well, that's easy.
You've got people
US, Canada, U.S. Ireland, right?
Yeah, I think Steven Crowder was one that I think his dad is Canadian, so he has dual citizenship.
Sure, and I know a bunch of people that have two. You can even have 2 or 3. I might be eligible for Polish citizenship because my grandmother is 100% Polish. Now, I haven't really looked into it.
I knew you were a fucking Polak.
Yeah, and my grandmother's Polish, and so
how did you know?
I'm 25% Polish, which means that I haven't actually looked into this, and I've been meaning to do it, but it hasn't been a pressing issue for me. But if I can produce the birth certificate and everything for the Polish government, then it's possible that I could have a dual U.S. Poland citizenship. Even though I've never been there, don't speak a fucking word of the language, but I would take it because it's EU, right?
Now, I know for a fact I'm more Indian than Elizabeth Warren. Can I get ownership in a casino?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
You can. Look into that.
You'd have to ask the casino.
Well, I'll even call it the slot casino. I'll open my own. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Football related topic. Yeah, football related topic.
Football? What the fuck is that? Football? All right, go ahead.
Colby just notified us that they made in Georgia it a felony if you're doing street racing.
No.
If you even attend one, it's a misdemeanor. So the football team at Georgia is now screwed.
Damn.
I mean, that's one of those ones. I get it's a fucking problem. But street racing has been a fucking thing forever. People need to chill the fuck out.
Well, I mean, it hasn't happened since those 2 guys got kicked off the team. So
when was that?
That was back sometime in the spring. I think it was
Yeah, it hasn't happened in 3 months, Slim or Paul.
Jeez, get off their nuts about it.
We kicked those 2 guys off the team and. Been
yeah, they kicked those 2 fourth stringers off. That really makes a statement.
Yeah. I mean, we should give Charles Manson a break. I mean, he hasn't had anybody murdered in 30 years.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, listen, Charles Manson didn't kill anybody, but he had a hell of a way with the ladies. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He was friends with one of the Beach Boys he got involved with.
I heard that. I didn't know if that was
Have
true,
you seen that movie, Manson? It's actually pretty good. Yeah, so he was a musician. Charles Manson wanted to become a rock star or whatever.
Yeah.
And he got mad whenever his music sucked.
Well, yeah, it's like Hitler. Hitler wanted to be an artist, and they didn't accept him, so he just killed everybody.
Yeah. Neither one of them took it well. Yeah.
No.
If it wasn't for Hitler, though, Hitler loved Coca-Cola so much. Hitler's the reason we have Fanta.
He loved Coca-Cola. What now?
He's the reason we have Fanta. Fanta was created in Nazi Germany because he loved Coke so much, but we had an embargo with Germany at the time, and he couldn't get Coke.
Well, they did a terrible job because it doesn't taste anything like Coke.
His own shit.
So they created Fanta in Germany.
Wow.
That is true, actually.
So what you're telling me about Charles Manson is he was the first Jim Jones. in terms of the ways with the ladies, huh?
He was a little different, though. I mean, Jim Jones didn't cut fetuses out of no actresses.
What?
No, Jim Jones didn't, to the best of our knowledge, anyway. I mean, he might have, but.
Charles Manson, he wasn't really a ladies' man. He just dosed them up with like 10 times the recommended amount of LSD. And
but I mean, he talked them into killing people. So
yeah, after they've been on acid for 14 days straight and hadn't slept. Like,
well, I mean, fuck, the CIA did that shit to people in the 60s.
Yeah, they did it to him. But he was a part of MK Ultra. Manson was.
Was he? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. How come every time we get into the most fucked up subject, it's like, oh yeah, and the CIA was behind.
They're always behind it.
I mean, listen, man. During the Cold War, the CIA was the heyday of the CIA. Was the Cold War?
Yeah. Yeah. So so I have something that I want to ask Ray.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So so I wanted to ask you if you think you could have me on your college football show sometime.
Yeah, of course.
You can take my place the next time because, well, when is the next one?
It'll be a week from this Friday.
Yeah, but so this Friday is July 4th, so you're not doing it because of the holiday, right?
It'll be July.
I do it every other week, and it just so happened that it didn't fall on the 4th.
Okay, so the Friday after this, so next Friday, not this coming Friday, but next Friday, I won't be in town anyway, so there's an open slot because I usually come on almost every week.
All right, yeah. Well, then there you go, Vic.
There you go.
You're booked. What
gotta love how Rec is double booking because he already promised me that open slot.
Oh shit.
Well, I've got to fill 4 slots. Are we back to the slot king thing?
Yeah, we are.
Well, he'll figure it out. I'm sure if he invited you, he's not going to disinvite you.
No, so we got Slim, you. Now, there's a guy that I've seen Lou going at it with on Twitter that can't do it on Friday. The Wild Ute guy. One of these realignment guys. He said he could come on, but he's got to bloviate about conference realignment on Friday night, but he could do Saturday night.
Oh, shit.
And I just know that would be a big fireworks show with the two of them, but I don't know if I want to move it to Saturday because kind of fun.
Are we still doing the realignisms?
Well, some people dedicate their whole existence to that. And
so he's like
hilarious.
He's the Utah version of Golden Blue Dude. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, he's a little more fact-based, I guess. I don't even want to say fact-based.
You should call him Golden Blue Ute instead of Golden Blue Dude.
Well,
I'm not gonna
call everyone milk drinkers. That's a little annoying.
I'm not gonna lie. All of a sudden, there's a Golden Blue Dude TikTok account, and that's a little creepy.
Is there really?
Yeah, like it come across on mine.
And it's not.
Day. I saw that.
And it's not his videos. It's somebody else.
Well, I didn't click on it because I was afraid to. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Maybe it was his before he died, and it's just still up there.
I hadn't seen it before. I mean, I've been on TikTok for a minute now, and I hadn't seen it before.
Well, wasn't his family somewhat continuing it? Like, I haven't really paid attention.
Yeah, his brother was running his channel for a little while.
Yeah, he's got 2 brothers, and they kind of did some shows, but of course nobody watched them because guess what? They're not Golden Blue Dude. So,
well, and they were not. How do I put this? Super interesting.
No, they were boring.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, it feels fucked to say that, but
no, it's just true.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. There towards the end, all the fucking conference realignment wore thin with me fairly quickly.
But he was the first, though. Which
he was. I'll give him credit.
A pass. You know, it's like in margin call. You can cheat, be better than everyone, or be first. And
well, no, and so yeah, and what he did was he found a niche where like people like me and you got tired of watching the constant realignment videos, but a lot of people love that shit. They ate it up, and he realized that, so he leaned in on it.
Oh, I'm not hating him for it. It got to the point where I couldn't watch him anymore.
Right.
Gentlemen, It's quarter past 1 in the morning. I had to go to bed.
Yes. Well, it was great to see you again. I actually have to go too. But Volusia, it was great to see you again. Don't be a stranger, buddy.
I'll try my best. I'll catch y'all next time.
All right. Later, man.
All right, guys.
Well, at least we know he's alive.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. My assumption was Gulag.
Yeah. Anytime we don't hear from him for like 6 weeks, we're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
He's locked in a dungeon somewhere. You know.
I mean, listen, and I know he hates this, but at the end of the day, perception is reality, and people's perception of China is kind of reality.
Probably about half and half.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
If he did get thrown in the gulag, do you think we could pull off a rescue mission?
I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't even try. Sorry.
I mean, I probably wouldn't either, but just to entertain Rex's question, I don't think it would be hard because let's be perfectly honest about it. We've all bought shit made in China and it's all fucking garbage.
We bring the American-made shit over there.
I don't know. My iPhone's pretty badass, dude. I just got a new iPhone 16 Pro Max. I like it.
How will we?
Made in China.
How do we find him? How do we know which gulag they sent him to?
We got to go Rambo.
Yeah, man, we got to attack every gulag till we have the right one.
Yeah, I'll have to. Have to go undercover. I'll have to grow a man bun to fit in with the Chinese people.
Or we can have Vandy kind of redeem himself, and he can be our advanced scout and figure out which one he's at.
Yeah.
Did you just say we would go undercover?
Yeah.
Oh, I love a Chinese government.
No, I would just make myself look as much like Volusia as possible because clearly they don't, he's fine there.
Some chopsticks.
I mean, well, the only problem is like you could pull off the man bun, but I don't know if you could pull off the patchy beard and looking like a computer nerd.
I could.
I don't know that Pete has the back hair to pull off the man bun. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Since when is back hair required for a man bun?
Yeah, back hair.
I mean, like the back part of his head. I don't know that he's going to be able to pull it off.
Why do you say that?
He's saying he's balding?
Aren't you sort of thinning back on the back part of your head?
Not really. I mean, I could not cut my hair. And first of all, Volusia's bald.
I mean, listen, Pete's from South Carolina. How many people running around there have got mullets?
Yeah.
All right, he could pull it off.
Volusia is bald. And he's got a man bun.
Like he's full on doing like a comb, like a from the back comb over.
Yeah. And he admits that. He said that's the reason he's got it, is to cover up the fact that he's bald.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I'm not bald. Not yet.
My shit's going gray, but at least I've still got a full head of hair.
Yeah.
For now.
He could pull off the James Franklin look. Just polish that thing up.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, like a cue ball.
I mean, or he could go like full on used car salesman and like have the ponytail with the ring around your head.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
The wraparound forks.
Like a friar or something. Fucking Breton.
Friar.
Breton.
All right.
If I start to go fucking bald, I'm just gonna whack it all.
Probably.
Buy a skull shaver and be done.
I do have to run, guys. So thanks for coming on.
See you, buddy.
All right. See you later.
We'll talk. Bye.
All right, Tube.
Yep.
You doing Celine's show today or what?
I don't know. He hasn't told me that he's not doing it. So.
Okay.
It'll be a surprise. Wait and see.
Are you doing your VicTube shit show disaster stream on Friday? Because it is the 4th of July.
I am, but I'm going to do it earlier.
Okay, when?
I guess maybe like 4 or 5, probably.
Okay, why?
Okay, because we got fireworks to go.
It makes sense. Yeah, you can't be streaming during fireworks. That would be stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't stream
a midday show Friday.
Probably not. No, I don't think I'll be home. I think the plan is we're either gonna. I don't know where we might be going out on a boat to the lake.
Feet on a boat.
Yep.
The boat. Yep.
So, all right, Vic. Well, I guess we'll see you on Friday at 4. Are you gonna make a community post or something so people know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Just pay attention to VicTube's community section post.
Yeah, pay attention.
And he'll let you know. All right.
Right.
Thanks, Vic.
Okay. See ya.
Yeah. Happy 4th. Early 4th. All right, Slim. Did it again.
Yeah. We did. We made it through another one.
Hopefully, I'll see you tonight. We're the ACC show tonight at 7. We're going to preview We're going to preview Miami and Boston College tonight. So that ought to be fun.
That ought to be. Poor Boston College.
Yeah. I got a lot to say about them. All right, man. Well, I'll see you later then.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's going to do it for me as well. Like I just mentioned, I'll be back on tonight at 7 p.m. with your boy Sea-Dog and Slim Shady and maybe a couple of other people we'll see to preview Miami and Boston College. Sounds exciting. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. What is today? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.